We're live now.
Let's put out great content.
Are we live? This is always a question of it's more esoteric at this point, I think. All right,
Yeah,
so yeah, so we're live now. All right, welcome everybody, all our viewers.
Hello.
Welcome you guys back to session. What is it? Session four? Session five?
5.
Oh shit! I think I put it as session four. Did I put it as session four? I think I did.
Oh, great. Now we got to redo the whole last session.
No,
Ryan.
no. Now
You don't
you.
remember what you said?
No, I mean
Um,
just now for this stream.
yes, yes.
No, it says session five. Okay.
session
Okay.
4, take 2.
Session four, take two. Yep, you got to do session four all over again.
Oh, crap, I can't remember what I said.
Session four was just rehearsal for session four. Um, okay, so when
um,
last we left them, actually, why don't we do we want to do introductions real quick, or I mean, do we want to skip them? I don't know. Well, let's do intro. Who are you? First guy up in that left corner there. That is
Well, if it's
wearing the
is that me? It looks
dazzling
like
colored shirt. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
in character here.
Yeah, that's you.
all ready for summer.
So yeah, I'm. My name's Slag. Well, Callan's my actual name. I'm a bard, tiefling, and part of my heritage is dwarven. So, my father's a dwarf, and he encouraged me to be an entertainer. He's handsome, and that's what he's a handsome Hank. And so he told me that my mom was some sort of demon or devil and left us. So I don't have very good feelings about her. There's my tragic backstory. But so I'm going out, left the town that I was in, and I'm looking for fame and fortune. It's what brought me here, and we kind of run into these folks, as just as a kind of coincidence, and now we're all messed up in this. Certainly hope I take good notes for making stories and songs out of it. Anyway, that's me. So,
And who is Slag played by?
oh, Slag plays himself. No, Rich is playing Slag. What do you mean? Slag is he's genuine.
He writes his own content. He practically writes himself. He practically writes himself. Anyway, okay. So all right. So other guy up in the upper right hand corner there with the Hellfire Club shirt that I'm gonna steal one of these days. I know where you
What's that?
live.
I know you do.
I'm okay. I don't really know where you live, but I know
Oh,
approximately where you live, and I can just probably guess by where the car is parked.
keep it upside down, John.
I am John, and also known as Kodiak. I am playing a Warforged that looks like a Minotaur barbarian, a wild magic barbarian, and I am trying to find the people that killed all my other brothers. I was part of a army of Warforged barbarians, and I'm the last one. And I'm out for vengeance and trying to find a party of people to go with me to find the people that killed all the other ones.
Gotcha. All right. And who is the person that is playing that?
I said I'm John, also known as
Oh, okay,
Kodiak.
okay. I didn't catch that. I said I'm John.
How much
I'm
more
slow.
did you want?
John. What?
Social security number.
Yes.
Bank
Address, social security number. Remember, I gotta steal a shirt
Fingerprints.
somehow. Anyway, no.
I'm also single.
Well, we'll be talking later, big boy. All
Get
right.
the
So,
alcohol samples ready.
all right, and this
And I
person
like
this
alcohol, so if you got any samples.
this all right, and the only female cast member at the moment. Oh, holy shit! I just
So
realized.
you think.
Hold on, wait, no. There's Stephanie, but you're the only female cast member in this group at the moment.
Hmm.
Well, I think.
Kind of a guy's world, huh?
I'm kind of, yeah, on the fence about this. No, anyway, so go ahead.
What? As if she's a girl?
No, I mean about
Oh.
as if I'm a guy.
You know.
Because I am definitely a lesbian. Anyway, so go ahead.
Hello, I'm Yue Shun Li, from Karatur. Can't really tell you much about my past because I don't remember. However, I do know that I am seeking the origins of my power, which has been denied to me, and the woman that haunts me in my dreams. And I'm played by the only human I actually care to talk to, Tina.
All right, all right. So you are all in this like a crypt, basically below this cathedral, and you have recently unearthed a body, and it is the body of possibly this long forgotten, well, maybe not long forgotten, but supposedly long dead hero, folk hero, named Durquois, Alan Durquois. And yeah, so that's where we last left you. You guys had killed this giant tunnel weave spider, and
Carved it up for parts.
yep, carved it up for parts and harvested what you could from it. I believe you guys got some poison sacks and some carapace. Of course, the carapace will have to either
some
be
web
carved into
shooters.
even smaller pieces or carried out, individually, kind of thing. Like it'll have to be, worked at a bit, but it could be possibly used later to create some, like, hide armor or some stuff like that. Some web shooters, yeah, you can make some web shooters out of the spinnerets.
Yeah, this
Whip.
is Spider-Man. Spider-Man just went through my head.
Yep,
Said
yep.
that. Oh, God.
I can picture
So,
I can picture Slag, a little short gnomish
Oh
tiefling,
my God.
swinging through the air, going, "Hey, I got some web slingers here."
Uh-huh. Definitely.
That's
Yeah.
your friendly neighborhood spider dwarf.
But a dwarf.
All right, so yes,
I believe it was the what was he, the paladin, like, mercenary we had with us that I had him open the
yes, yep, and the paladin is
told him to look in.
what is the paladin's name? Oh, Thyron War Striker. You're going to get rid of War Striker though out of his name. Bloop.
Well,
Strike the war striker.
now he's Thyron Lid Opener, so, and we both noted, my, that man is quite fresh in there, isn't he?
Right. There was some conversation about there was still a smell of death and decay, but he is very well preserved for someone who's supposed to have been dead for hundreds of years, or 100 years, or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not a stupid man, and we've been fighting a lot of undead. I'm quite suspicious that he is probably undead and may or may not be the actual guy he says he is. He could be that guy, or, I mean, perhaps reanimated, or he could just be someone pretending to use that persona. I suppose either way.
We all
I'm just telling you what I'm thinking right now.
Is
where
anybody
I'm
else
coming
having-
from.
Is anybody else having Roll-20 issues? Maybe I need to refresh. I don't know.
I'm not.
Okay.
I can
I always
see
have
the
roll 20
where,
issues.
I always have
where we
Roll-20
were
issues.
where we left off last time. So
Okay, yeah, the whole
Can we
sidebar
all-
is gone. Jeez.
I'm refreshing the Roll-20. Roll-20,
Mm.
I'm refreshing you because you're
Okay.
not refreshing.
refreshing.
Oh, somebody else. I think T,
can
you're
we all have
refreshing
a
Roll-20 also.
I'm always refreshing. Well, I'm gonna put some ice in it to make it more refreshing.
Right.
That's what I'm gonna do.
You are that
Can we,
ice
Can we all-
sorcerer.
Can we all see
yeah,
the
true.
corpse?
Yes, you.
I think
Slag
right now
could
it just,
not. Silverhorns would not be able to see it, but from
I don't
your
think
vantage
he can
point,
keep the lid off all the way.
yeah, from Slag's vantage point, he could probably see in it. Just a
So
hair.
I'll just. I'm not going to.
Okay,
be like,
Slag from over there. You,
but
yeah,
I'll
from
be like,
from over there,
You know,
Slag, you could definitely not see it. That's
Oh.
Slag's
All
like,
right.
Slag's like, I don't want to see it.
I wanna.
And if they
I
don't
want to
notice,
ask a question.
I will motion for the cleric. Go get the others.
okay. Go ahead and
Yeah,
ask.
I want to know. I want to be able to. I want to be able to ask a question that we're required that I could see it. So I want to move so I can see it, so I can ask the question without saying, "Well, you can't see that."
So from right, like, okay. So this is my idea. Is like, I figure UA is here and Thyron's here. So the casket was probably opened, kind of this direction. The lid was probably pushed off in this direction, and it was only pushed slightly aside. But you could probably see it from where you were here,
Ah,
and then you can definitely
okay.
see it from that spot. I mean, after
We're
he
listening
pushes
to
the
you.
lid, after he pushes the lid slightly, I'm sure you might be inclined to kind of move up a little bit, like you did there, and kind of peek in. You know, like,
Yeah. Well, if UA has conveyed the
oh,
fact that looks, hmm?
oh, I said,
That it
oh, Teeny
looks.
is muted, but
Oh,
Oops, sorry.
if that it's fresh. If it looks fresh, I guess, and might not be the person who it's the remains that it's supposed to be there. Is it is it look like it's fresh enough that, like, let's just suppose that it's a, someone has replaced it with another dead body. Is it possible that it's not decayed enough that someone might be able to say, "Oh yeah, that's old Joe. We wondered where he went." Is it still potentially identifiable?
oh, yeah,
Does it
it's
look
it's
like?
it's very identifiable. Yes.
Okay. Can we check with some people? What do you think, UA and Silverhorns? Check with and see if some people can identify this, and if it's and
Like, with the
definitely
check with the locals
determine
kind
that
of
it's
thing.
not. Yeah, check with a local. See that it's if it's definitely not who we think is supposed to be there. What do you think?
I look at the paladin and look down at the body and say, "Is it breathing?" Hint, hint,
Uh,
hint.
uh, the paladin leans in and says, "I don't suppose it does appear to be breathing.
Mm.
It just looks as though they're resting."
I don't say we should take any chances. Cut it up and burn it. And he just kind of backs off, like, I'm done. I'm
You
bored with
you,
this.
you hear the paladin says, "Agreed. Better to be safe than sorry."
Yes, I got one on my side now.
Okay,
Silver,
let's destroy
Silverhorns,
any possible leads that we might have as far as that goes. Can you at
Silverhorns.
least not mar? Well, go ahead,
Yes.
Silverhorns.
Did someone say cut something up?
You hear the paladin say, when you when you say that sarcastically, Slag, you hear Thyron the paladin. He says, "Agreed. This place is definitely defiled. We should just destroy the whole place."
The Silverhorn gets his axe out, ready to cut stuff up.
uh, okay.
I sure hope we don't have to, run down any mysteries with this group.
Wait. Hold on. I gotta check something. I don't think Thyron's wisdom or intelligence is that high. but
What I am truly inclined to do is to turn around and take my dagger and slit his throat for agreeing with me too readily.
oh, his wisdom
But
and
I think
intelligence are 12. He said so. He
I
says
think better than that.
he says to Slag. He says, "Oh wait, you were being sarcastic, weren't you?"
Yes, I was being
Like,
sarcastic.
by all means, if you'd like to question him, go ahead.
He looks slightly disappointed that that you were being sarcastic.
I too may look slightly disappointed, but I quickly recover my composure.
Look. I know you guys. I just asked if we could
Okay,
before
so
you make cutlets out of him that we try to find out if anyone knows who he was. Yes,
My
over.
my intelligence is 11, and my wisdom is 12.
That's pretty good. I mean, that's average and above average.
Yeah, but even if it were higher, I think he would still be like, "We're cutting shit up." Yeah,
But but
Yeah.
that's his personality.
violence is my answer to almost any challenge. So I'm still cutting
Yeah,
this fucker up.
I mean, yeah, there's certainly if it's. I mean, I see the argument. If it's somehow some sort of latent undead that's going to spring up at us, you want to attack it up first. I want to see if there's any information that we can get. Like, oh yeah, this is. We can
Here,
confirm it's not the guy,
let me
and it's real.
let me cut his head off, and
we,
you can carry his head to the locals, and you can ask them
Someone
about
else
it.
can carry his head to the locals.
what are you drinking there, John? What is that? Is it like Pedialyte or
Crystal light.
Crystal Light? Oh yeah, I was close. Crystal Light, Pedialyte, same thing, almost. Not really. Um, anyway,
So obviously, you're going to have to send someone back out, or take him out.
Well, that's what I was saying.
So
We don't have any locals with us, so I mean, if you want to carry his head around until we get back up top, you can.
I can
I'll
do
cut his
that.
head off for you.
Or we could disable him somehow, cut off his hands and feet. If he rises,
Gregor walks over at about that point. He says
if he rises, he stays
he
there.
walks over to the coffin at about that point. And he says, "He already looks disabled." He says, "But I'll carry his head if you need."
Okay, I'll cut off his head.
You're gonna get ready. Is anybody gonna try to stop Silverhorns from cutting this thing's head
Oh.
off?
Are you asking me?
No,
Because
no,
the
I-
answer is no.
Okay, I
No,
guess
I'm
I'm
not.
asking Slag. I guess I'm asking
No,
Slag.
I just as long as we can identify him, I'm not. I don't have any reason to keep his body intact. I'm not a religious type of person. So yeah, desecrating tombs is
Watching
part
some
of the
saint
job.
or something, you know.
Nah. I mean, I just don't want to lose information. So that's fine. Is there anything that looks of interest in here? As long as we've determined we're probably not defiling some ancient hero, we're defiling some nobody. Has he got anything interesting?
Any sparkly
Um,
jewelry?
Weapons, armor, yeah,
Yeah,
jewelry,
right.
piles, big piles of gold.
he is. That's a good question. He is. So you're gonna the lid back off further, correct, Silverhorns, in order to get to the
Yeah,
body better, and
Yeah.
and you guys are
I-
going to kind of like study the body to see what he's wearing and such, and
I'm
he.
going
Yeah.
to take a step back, and I'm going to have a spell ready in case Mofo goes "Grr," because I don't trust him.
Okay, there's a suit of fine leather armor, that he's wearing, and he's carrying a quarterstaff, or not carrying, but like he's buried with a quarterstaff, kind of like how they grip the sword, but kind of offset so it can uncovers his face, but the quarterstaff is there in the coffin with him. Um, uh, and he kind of has this emblem. It is a tree with leafless branches and roots to match them. Um, um,
Oh crap! He's from Minas Tirith.
yeah, right. And Gondor, so the white tree of Gondor. Anyway, so, uh, um, yeah, so so that's pretty much all you see on him. He is just wearing, like I said, the leather armor and the the has a quarterstaff, and he's got like other like traveling adventuring clothes on. Some high soft boots and
Any of you guys recognize that symbol on his chest?
I can make an Arcana check or history.
sure, yeah,
Same
whichever
difference.
one you prefer.
They
You would probably think history. I know it doesn't matter, but you would probably think history just because of the idea that like you could roll either one, so it doesn't matter. But you could
Yeah,
say it.
yeah.
You could say it was history, but you probably think history just because it doesn't appear to be a magical symbol,
Mm,
magical emblem. It's more like a crest of some sort.
okay, a crest or a society. It doesn't look like any. Well, if it's a royal crest, I wouldn't really recognize it if it's from this part of the world.
And I'll just give you without even making without even making
Oh,
the history check. Now you did so bad.
never
Now
mind.
I have to draw it back. No, I'm just kidding. Um
Uh,
no, it wasn't that bad. But
hmm.
you do believe that it is the crest of Alan Durquois.
Uh,
I think this is actually Islander Claw. That crest is very, very familiar.
So am I cutting off a
him
head or
is the
not?
Okay, so
You might want
so
to
you
wait.
push when you push the lid further open to get at the head. You see his eyes open, and he looks at you and he says, "Oh, have I slept the day away?"
okay. Let's hold off on the chopping the head.
And
Okay.
he looks up and he sees
Okay.
Silverhorns with his axe at the ready. He says, "Oh, I find myself in a strange predicament."
Yeah. So you're in a coffin. Are you dead or not?
He says, no, I don't believe so yet. Well, yes and no, perhaps."
Vampire?
He says, "Well, yes, but
Possibly.
not quite yet. But it is hard to stave off, I must say."
So what have you
Stave
been
off.
doing the last
Good,
couple of hundred years?
good pun.
He,
Oh,
good pun. You like that?
take a break real quick. My mom got here.
Okay, all
I
right. So what has he been doing for the last 100 years? He's been. I've been knitting this. I've been crocheting this quilted down here, this blanket in the coffin.
where did you get the what is wrong
You
with you
think you would have
people?
gotten farther? You gotten further in 100 years. You only
Either
got like
that or it's
six
a
or
really
seven
huge
rows.
it's a really huge Afghan.
It's just like yeah, it's like under 100 year long Afghan.
And he's just a perfectionist, and he keeps pulling out. No,
Unraveling
that's
it,
not good.
unraveling
I'm gonna pull
it.
it out. Yeah,
It's-
all right.
You know what though? Half the time you start something and you never finish it, so he's been working on it for 100 years and he's only got like 2 feet of it done.
he's, I'm a real bad procrastinator. I'll get to it someday. I got an eternity. I can get to it someday.
Right? I'll finish it eventually.
Oh,
All right, are you
Oh, no, I
muted,
remember
John?
the red heart.
no, but my mom's here.
Okay, take off. You gotta
All
take
right.
off for a minute, right?
Yep.
All right. You can don't get rid of your camera though. Just mute us
Okay.
if you can. All right. So you know what?
Oh, I wish you could.
Do we need to take a break momentarily? Since John's got to take a break anyway here.
Yeah, we can.
All right, we're
We
gonna take a
can.
break real quick, guys. We will
Okay.
try. Oh, hey, the Kate next door. Thank you. Hey, um, and under attack. Hey, I recognize you. Thank you for coming by and lurking and checking it out.
Well, you
All
let
right.
Batman here?
Yeah, I did. I
Oh.
let him in. I let him in here. All right, so yeah, under attack. You'll have to get a hold of me too about after the thing in the Tuscola Palooza dealio if we're doing that still.
Mm.
But yeah, so we're gonna take a break real quick, guys. We will go to the BRB screen, and then we'll talk so everybody can hear us and just confuse everybody. No, I'm just kidding.
Right, right. There are a bunch of suspicious holes.
There we go. Mute Discord. Transition. Bloop, bloop, doo, doo. Hey, we're back. I got
From outer
I
space.
got
That's why
some
we're not going to kill him.
I got some Italian some it's not even Italian sausage. It's just smoked turkey sausage. I got some in the
You can pretend it's Italian.
It's
right?
Italian sausage. Yeah, I'm going to pretend. But
It's a me.
Whenever you bite into it, it goes, yeah.
I'm going to put ketchup on it.
Ooh.
He's American, you can tell.
I put ketchup on hot dogs too.
Now that's true evil.
It's just one of my evil habits. I like to put ketchup and mustard on hot dogs. Mustard is okay, obviously, but I like to put ketchup on a hot dog too.
That's the only way I can eat them. Ketchup, mustard, a sliced disgusting American cheese. And yeah, hot dogs are gross.
Yeah, no, I like
yeah.
I like nacho cheese on my hot dogs. Like, like the cheap cheesy nastiness you get for like gas station nacho.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how I came to this thing here. Okay, so I don't know. Okay, I don't know anything. Anyways, I was just saying, like, if you, I was just watching. Thanks for subscribing, Under Attack. And I was thanking Kate for dropping in, and I was saying that if you guys like video games, she plays Dead by Daylight and Valorant, and she's really cool. So, yeah. All right, so back to this guy waking up and being like, "Oh my, I seem to have a problem here. You don't look very happy to see me."
Man, I was
Not
going
sure
to cut your
what
head
you
off,
are.
but you're awake and look like you're alive.
Go on about your crocheting. It's fascinating.
So I guess I won't.
I think that's lost on anybody viewing right now, like the crocheting comment, because I think we went off on off stream before the crocheting comment came about.
No, I think we had that. Yeah,
Oh, was it? Was it?
We
Okay.
had that in there.
That'd be funny. Okay, so anyway, so yes, he's not really crocheting,
So,
obviously, but
So, I mean, the last thing you told us is that you're a vampire and you have, what have you been doing for the last couple hundred years? And
yeah, and he
I think you're going to tell us that you're not going to eat us.
He sits up with his quarterstaff, and says, "Well, I did say sort of." He says, "I'm not quite a vampire yet, but I'm leaning that way, if that
Well,
makes sense."
Maybe I will cut your head off then.
He says, "Please don't. If there's a cure to be had, then perhaps I could get it. But if you must chop my head off, I would understand. Of course, I believe that my instincts would try to protect me."
Kinkhead. So, do we recognize him for a particular type of race of creature? Does he look different from like the townsfolk and stuff like that?
He looks different from the townsfolk in features. His features are way more elegant. He is definitely a human of some sort, like turning vampire, like what they call a vampire spawn. But he, the emblem that he has, I believe it's like a pin, on his
Okay.
leather armor, like a brooch type thing, the emblem that he has isn't specifically magical, but it is the crest, the Durquois crest, and it's kind of like a he does explain that it is kind of he thinks it's one of the things that's keeping him at bay from becoming a vampire. Totally.
So is that thing blessed?
He says, perhaps. He says, we were a family that was dedicated to heroism and hunting undead, so to speak. He says, perhaps that's why. Perhaps it's got its own power, so to speak.
How fitting is it then that you ended up like this?
He says, yes,
So,
perhaps.
If I would do a history roll, would it, could I find out more about the Durquois family that I might know from that
Stories and
standpoint
stuff.
to fill in some what?
Yeah, yeah, you could do that.
I want to. I like to fill in. What I really, really want to know is to what level from knowledge can we say, oh yeah, we can trust this guy. He's not going to fang us. Other
Ah,
than him
yes.
just telling us
Yes.
he probably isn't going to do that. So, all right, here we go.
Okay,
All
well,
right, there's my history roll.
you would know that somebody from the Durquois family would not be likely to do that. However, just because the history roll is high, but you would also know that a vampire might do that nonetheless. Um, you do realize that he is um, more articulate, let's say, like more with it, lucid, than what you would think a vampire spawn would be. More so like a full blown vampire. Um, and that you would think the vampire spawn, as a vampire spawn, he would be more, you know, slobbery than no,
More,
you,
fe-
you know,
more
more,
feral.
yeah, more feral, more ravenous, and trying to attack you already, so to speak. Like
He would have his bloodlust would be kicked in.
right. You would think that would be probably the case.
So do you want to go back to sleep here? What are you uh now that we've awakened you or opened your bedchamber here? What is it? We're on a quest. We're trying to find uh, there, and I quickly explain stuff without going through to not bore everybody, but of what we're doing here. We're looking for an escaped Drow. Some some shenanigans has happened up above, and we're looking to get to the root of it and ask him, is it something you want to help with, have information on? Do you just want to go and pack it in for another 100 years sleeping?
He says, well, he says there are tunnels and catacombs beneath here that stretch on for a ways. He says, I my internal clock is saying that it's daytime, I believe, but so I could go with you seeking elsewhere down here, but he says, but I don't foresee that I would be very helpful up above.
Well, that sounds good. I mean, I know your family's noble, and you probably have the itch to do noble things. And I think that for better or for worse, we're doing noble stuff right now.
When you say your family's noble and you get an itch to do noble things, you always like, huh? What? That doesn't. Never mind.
Well, I mean, not necessarily the vampires or whatever particularly he is, but but his family did good stuff, right? They were undead
Yeah,
hunters.
yeah. They hunted like monsters and undead and stuff like that, basically.
It's like, do you know what happens to people when they become vampires? They don't just stay the nice people they once were.
He says,
But
yes.
they become very eloquent. They become very eloquent, and
Oh,
you know have good manners. They dress well. They they give long speeches.
you've
They're a
been
lot
reading
of fun.
too many of those novels written by other bards.
Yeah, yeah.
I bet you
Oh
if we
yes,
take him
Stephanie.
outside, he's
Stephanie writes a good one.
I've been reading this. Too many of them. Stan Broker novels.
famous bard.
Oh God.
Mhm.
Well, I
And
mean,
it's kind of
it's up to the group. Do you want to do we need a you know do we want some help?
Whatever, I'll deal with it when it happens.
So
okay, but if
You-
he gets
you-
twitchy,
you get
I'm
you
chopping
get up
off
and
his
out.
head.
It's twitchy.
Well, you might get a chance. You may get a chance to do that yet. We're not saying no to that.
Wait a minute, John, are you hollow? I couldn't just put him in
Bong
you.
bong bong. Oh, there you
Now,
go.
please, excuse me, friends.
What does our paladin friend think about this? and vampires and such.
I mean, can't we just use John as a big Iron Maiden? And just...
Do you have a door in your chest or something, John?
Yeah.
Silverhorns?
No, I have gears and stuff.
He could be
His
like
butt unhinges.
It could be like
Ah,
he could be like Reuben from the other campaign where his chest is actually opens up because it's a chest.
yep, yep.
Put it in my chest. Oh,
And
so
taking his hands off and doing all sorts of stuff.
Yep.
you were asking the paladin his opinion?
Yeah,
Mm.
I would think the paladin might be the one has a negative feeling about it.
He says the paladin says, "Well, I don't like the idea of destroying a folk hero." And he says, "But on the same token, I don't like the idea of letting a vampire live either." He says, Perhaps he's right. Perhaps we could find a cure."
That sounds good. Cognitive dissonance. It's great. Trying to hold two opposing thoughts at the same time. You'll become a complex NPC yet.
He looks over at Yue, who has kind of been of a similar mind, even though not necessarily about the same things. But he looks over at Yue and says, he says, "Of course, destruction of the fiend could be a cure."
Good point.
Yeah, death cures everything. Yeah.
Mm.
I've sung that song before.
I've sung that song before. I know the words to it.
Yeah.
Symphony of Destruction. Oh,
Well,
Very well. Let's take him.
So Alan Durquois also says, well, if there was a drow down here, he kind of avoids the idea that the paladin just said something like that about him, and kind of like looks nervously, but then heads over to this wall over here. He says, if the drow did indeed come down this way, perhaps they went through here. And he points to a area on the wall, and at first it seems like just a wall, and after him kind of pointing it out, it kind of seems a little bit uneven.
Mm.
Oh, you know what? See, I gotta...
So, do you doubt that were any drow down here at all?
He says, I wouldn't know. I was asleep.
Like the dead.
like the undead.
everybody wants to be an entertainer. Okay, so
I'm
are
sure
there any
everybody
other...
goes, okay, all right, Silverhorns, but He's like, whoa, what?
Which was say?
I was just correcting you. Yeah. So, is this the main secret passage from down here, or there others? That was to Duquois.
He says, this leads to outside, I believe. He says, he says, you could take this this section here, and he looks down into the hole where the spider came out. He says, but who's to say where that leads?
What about the room full of skeletons back there? Referencing to the one that we opened with Mage Hand and looked down and was like, oh shit, there's a lot of skeletons.
He says,
because we only went down one side, remember?
He says, well, it is a tomb, and there are likely to be bodies. He says, no matter, I'm sure I can handle a few skeletons.
Oh, by all means, this way.
So he will like walk over to that area and sort of, kind of head over that general direction.
Seeing that he knows where all the secret doors are, I'm assuming he's just going to walk straight over to whatever door gets you in that room.
And so you got to kind of reference like what area it's in.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he'll walk back over. He walks into the central room that you guys came through, and he opens up a door in there. Ah, we're gonna go back to the lighting layer and get rid of that.
Over there and see what I can see. Hmm.
There we go. Oops, I forgot to do this. Hold on. There we go. So yeah. So I don't know if you can see in there or not. Hold on. Layer, token layer. Did I just get rid of everything? No, I didn't get rid. Okay,
No.
okay. Just for a minute there, I thought I did. Goodness. Nope. Polygon. Here we go. Polygon. Oh, wrong thing.
Yeah, you is just not comfortable with a room
I
full
am
of
terrible at
skeletons
drawing
back
on
there.
the fly here. Okay, there we go. So
He's
yeah,
like,
so
there's no guarantee they're gonna stay in there.
he walks over and they come like kind of ambling out, and as they start to amble out, he takes his quarterstaff and strikes at one.
Hmm.
Um,
I watch.
I have to roll 1d20 now because for some idiot didn't put a quarterstaff on his sheet. I don't know who that was. Okay, so
It's
yeah.
a buck and a quarter staff, but I'm not going to tell anybody.
And then he smashes at one with his quarterstaff, and he takes his hand and claws out at another, and he quickly dispatches one. What's that? What am I doing? Control Z. Control Z.
So
Quickly dispatches one of them.
Are there a lot of them?
He says, there seems to be about 8 more, maybe 7 more.
Carry on then.
And then you see him. He just kind of stands there and waits for one to come to the doorway, like the secret door. Like he waits for one to get into the doorway, and he basically swings at it a couple times and dispatches it.
So he just stands at the choke point, and as they step up, he smacks them.
Yep, just smashes them with his quarterstaff, and
I'm just like,
Some of them will take two. Some of them take 2 hits and they're down. Some of them take like 1 hit and they're down. Like just it varies. And after several moments, he's dispatched of pretty much all of them. So
I'm good now that that's taken care of. As far as UA is concerned, this is all going to plan.
I'm going to do something here though. Let me do something here. For
But
you
why fight
guys.
them? Why fight them when someone else can do it for me?
Right. So let me do something for you guys. Hang on. Time.
I'm going to applaud while he does it.
Divided by 3.
Good job. Keep going.
Plus, we'll say this was a pretty successful interaction with this vampire guy, and nobody really specifically got killed, even though he's technically kind of already dead. Oh, hang on one second.
Say it, John. Say it.
Nobody is dead. They're undead.
All right, so you guys
getting funny.
You guys get 220 XP each for figuring out a way to let the folk hero do his job and not killing him and essentially he's doing the work for you. It's like,
Exactly. You're welcome.
So being lazy and sitting on our butts gets us experience points.
Sometimes.
Well, the whole point is
it's about it's about role playing and resourcefulness. So that in that case, so yeah. So 220 XP each.
I'm gonna take a chance to boss throw with anybody that I can. So it just worked out in my favor.
It won't always work out like that, but I mean,
No, no,
but sometimes it will. So I mean, you got to take those chances.
right? In worst case scenario, he was going to say no. So,
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea because Alander Quaz's folk hero. He would know his way around his quarterstaff, obviously. And skeletons are
Absolutely.
not like the hardest things to fight per se, and
hmm.
he's relatively able, you know. Um, and not only that, but he's using quarterstaff, which does double damage to skeletons, so because they're
Yes.
Hmm.
vulnerable to bludgeoning items. So.
Hmm.
Is he doing stuff, fancy stuff like twirling around
Oh
over his
yeah, yeah,
head and
yeah, yep.
all that sort of?
Yeah, thrust, parry,
Uh,
dodge, Daffy Duck
uh,
bullshit. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yep, yeah, and every once, like every once in a while, he's just cue sticking one in the head, and it just topples over.
hmm.
So, I continue to applaud his work. Yeah, well done, well done.
He says, and after they're all dead, he says, "Oh well, thank you," and of course I didn't break a sweat. And he looks a little downtrodden by that, but
Oh, I thought you were making a joke.
no,
I didn't know that you
he he's
would
a
sweat.
he's a little sad because he wouldn't sweat. Like that's the whole point. Is
I see.
Because he can't sweat.
he can't sweat. He's no
Yep,
longer no
can't
longer
sweat.
living.
Yep.
Um,
Is
Hey,
is water bad for you? I not don't
well,
know.
Holy water.
Yeah,
he says, "Oh,
I
I can."
might be
He
calories.
says,
forgetting
"I
my
can."
additions.
He says, "I can drink water." He says, "There's no
Benefit.
there's no benefit from it. Yes, there's no benefit and there's no lasting effects from it. It's if I drink too much water, obviously the stomach cavity is only so large, and I would have to
And you have to pee more if you have to drink a lot of water.
I would have to throw it up. I
Mm,
don't.
mm,
I no
mm.
longer do that. I no longer do the latter."
The joy of urination is lost to you. I don't want to be a vampire.
He
Oh
says,
my God,
he
get
says,
rid of
I
it.
do, I am harmed by running water like vampires would be. He says, I
That's what I was getting at.
am
Yeah,
hypersensitive to sunlight. He says, and I cannot enter a residence without invitation, of course.
not being asked. Yeah. Well, if we're gonna hang with you a little bit, we shouldn't go back to the surface. I maybe we should go and delve deeper.
Luckily,
What do you
oddly,
think, gang?
in Alan Durquois says, luckily, oddly enough, the cathedral or church is home to everybody. So
Anymore.
Huh?
I need not be invited.
Definitely not. It's
Eh, eh,
got a sunroof now.
He says, and good luck with your quest.
Yeah.
Good luck with your quest.
Yeah, and good luck with your quest. He kind of like
Oh,
heads back over to his little tomb area and sits on the tomb on the edge of it.
So I guess you're going back to sleep then.
Eventually, he says, I'm up now. I just I'm not tired per se.
So
why
we're
don't you head
so
through that door then? Hmm.
What'd you say?
I said, why don't you head through that door then?
Which door? The one I revealed to you?
This one.
Okay, he goes through the door.
Surely you're bored, right?
doesn't that
He's like,
it
yeah.
goes to the surface, doesn't
There's
it?
other. He says there's other tombs in here. He says, there's no
Hmm.
skeletons, but yes, the ladder does seem to go to the surface.
Hmm.
He says I can't go out right now, being that it's daytime.
I go and look at the paladin. What do you think? I'm gonna go check and see if it's day.
The paladin,
Yeah.
he says, well, why wouldn't it be day? He says, ah, I see. You think this vampire has somehow beguiled us, and the day has slipped away from us. Ah, very good. I will go check.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's
it.
intelligent.
I said he
Yeah,
was. I said he
yeah,
was
that
over above average intelligence. I didn't say what he would think. You know.
he
He,
can read really well.
he thinks. He thinks that you're right. This vampire must have somehow beguiled you, and the day has slipped away from
I,
you. That's.
I read at a sixth grade level, thank you.
And you hear him yell down the ladder. He says, "Yes, it's daytime still." He says,
Thanks, buddy. How's everything looking out there?
So
No drow?
"He's gonna make me come out my
he
nose,
comes
Mister
back with all
Hawk."
these arrows in him. There's
Oh,
a
God.
couple.
There's a couple draw here. Okay, hold on. Let me do a survival check real quick for this guy.
We have to roll survival check to see the drow.
Oh, he does. He got an 8. I don't know why he's got
Oh.
a. I don't know why he's got a bless, a +3 or guidance or whatever. Oh, it's guidance. Okay, but
Somewhat
he don't have
guidance.
that right
He
now.
must have guided himself.
Yeah, maybe he guidanced himself. So that'd be 11. But he doesn't see anything out there. He's like, yeah, I don't see anything out there. Just. He says, but this would be a good place to exit. And he says there's some woods not far off.
Well, why don't you keep a lookout for a little while?
Okay.
Are we looking for a priest here? I mean, just I know it goes back a couple sessions, but isn't there a priest we're supposed to rescue down here?
Possibly.
There was supposed to be.
Possibly.
Oh no, our acolytes are down there.
No, the acolytes came upstairs.
Did it come upstairs?
Yeah,
Okay.
the acolytes came upstairs and they said that the priest was down there.
Okay. All right. So I know we were supposed to be saving somebody priesty. So Alan Durquois is his name. I
No,
I want to call him like Dirk Diggler or something like that. Like
Alan Dirk Diggler. That's a different
Yeah.
that's a different kind of role playing game. You know what I'm saying?
my brain
No,
is
it's
going.
that's for Friday night late. I think about Dirk the Diggler.
We're gonna move our time
Do
slot.
you remember Dirk the Diggler? Yeah. So
Are
could
there
you?
any other
Would you
doors
mind?
down here?
Yeah.
Hmm. Oh wait, yeah. I'll stop speaking when you kind of. I notice you're saying the same thing.
What are you saying?
But any more doors? There's the hole, and then there's this secret passage that goes up to the surface, or goes to a ladder that goes to the surface.
Oh
Are there
yeah.
any other doors?
You're asking him. You're asking Alan.
Yes.
Alan says, not that I'm aware of. He says, I believe that the only passages down here are to those, through those ladders. And this one here, of course.
Okay. I'm just gonna.
I'm gonna go look
Oh,
over down the hole.
Okay.
Can you put his name in the chat just so we have the spelling?
Yeah,
Thank you.
Durquois. It's not spelled like a French Durquois, but I mean, it sounds French. Kind of. But
Yeah,
anyway.
it sure does. And he speaks with a British accent.
Yes, that's
How,
true.
Right.
how crazy is that?
It's the only one I do have
You know.
decent. I'm just kidding.
He's from Cornwall.
All right,
Oh
so
no, I
He's Scottish, you know.
all right.
Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go look down the hole. See if I mean obviously there's got to be some sort of a chamber down there because there was a big ass spider. Durquois, do you know what's
Ooh.
down here?
Does he know what's down there?
Yeah, he's looking down the hole and he says, Durquois, do you know what's down here?
Oh, he says, mostly, as far as I know, catacombs and tunnels that go on for miles. I would guess, but your guess is as good as mine.
Not the priest lost.
What was that?
I'm not searching miles of catacombs for one
Oh, okay.
priest.
Yeah. He says, no, I would guess that the priest also used the ladder. That'd be my guess.
Unless they got eaten by the spider. Hmm.
Well, the spider did just break through when you guys came in, so
Mm,
that
mm,
hole wasn't there prior to the
mm. Palpable disappointment on the face.
right.
But I guess not. Ah.
just for just for getting it in our heads. So if there are further catacombs below there, and the spider crawled up and made its own path, basically a tunnel spider, how
Mm,
would one who was going to go bury things in the catacombs,
mhm.
how would they normally get there if they didn't have a tunnel spider making a hole for them?
he says. He says. He says. I don't know. He says they probably would have buried them there before they were covered. You know, like he says. He says
Oh, I see.
this was built on the catacombs, as far as I understand. He says
Ah,
Yeah, they would
so
have sealed off the catacombs and then
they
built
would have
the.
sealed them. Okay,
Yeah. But the fact that
all
the
right.
tunnel spider was there and is still alive means the tunnel spider has an exit somewhere.
True.
Mm.
he says,
Very
he says, and
interesting.
if you're dealing with Drow, and he reaches into his like little tomb there, and underneath where he was, laying, he pulls out a
Beneath his
little.
crochet.
He pulls out, yeah, beneath his crocheted blanket of 100 years. He pulls out a little like diary type thing, like a journal, and he says there is a prophecy that says
Mm.
the rise of the Drow when the light of the world falls. Uh, he says perhaps this has something to do with it, the prophecy. He says, but if it is Drow, then I cannot see why someone probably didn't send this spider here. He says somebody probably did if it was a Drow.
Mm. Mm. Perhaps
Drows
that
and
was their way
spiders,
into the. Perhaps that was their way into the whole church. Their means of hiding. They tunneled in.
Well,
That's what
perhaps
they
and
do.
tunnel spiders. Yeah, go ahead.
he says. Well, perhaps it was also just sent here to slow you down. But like you said, there is an exit somewhere.
Mm.
Do you have any other books in there that might be of interest? Interview with a Vampire, Twilight, anything else you got in your tube?
He says. He says no. I don't have any other books. He says this is my personal journal. He says um, I do have, however, a sort of interest, if you will, in a gemstone.
Please continue.
He says,
Why don't you enlighten us, vampire? Mm.
I'm gonna pause dramatically.
he says, well, I used to own a gemstone that was well very precious to me, and I believe it had magical powers, though I hadn't quite discerned what I should use them for. Um, but I have been searching for it since, and it has been lost to me.
Oh, did this gemstone have a name?
Not not that I'm aware of.
What did it look like?
Uh,
And
now you gotta ask me hard questions. I see how it is. Okay.
basically, I'm fishing for is it this moon shard he's talking about?
I don't think so. One second. Let me double check.
I mean, if you are
Well,
asking
you
us
brought
to,
it up.
Yeah,
you're
I know,
asking
I
us
know, I know.
to perhaps keep an eye out for your little
It's
friends.
because
We need
it's
to know
one
what it
of
looks
those.
like.
It's because of it's one of those. Hey, this journal mentions this kind of thing. And yeah, and then so I have to jump to like 300 pages ahead, kind of thing. But yeah, anyway.
Oh, those. Yeah, I hate when they organize things like that. You know.
Okay, one second.
So basically, what I just said is that he said, "Well, if you're wanting us to like keep
No,
an
it
eye
is
out for this thing,
no, it
you
is
need to
not
tell
the
us what it looks like."
it is not the moon shard. It's a plain. It is a bluish color. It is, the moonshiner was more purple, anyways.
Mm.
But it is a bluish
Oh
color,
yeah. Well,
and rather than being like a crystal, it's smooth all over, and it's sort of an ovular, like almost an egg shaped gem.
Like an opal or something like that.
Yeah, he said. Yeah, but it's like uh,
A blue. Okay.
translucent and blue in color. Yeah.
I see.
turquoise ish.
Mm.
That
or
that
to,
color
or to,
blue or a darker.
or topazish, more like topazish,
Ah,
but
okay, okay, okay.
Mm.
but a little bit, but it'd be like turquoise color maybe, but translucent instead of, you know,
What's been polished?
Got yeah. How big?
about the size of your fist. Just
It's so
just
teeny tiny. Yeah.
just hearing that, knowing it's even the size of your fist is, no, it's probably worth a bit, even if it wasn't magical.
I'm sure we'll keep an eye
Yeah.
out for it. Maybe the Drow took it.
When you last, yeah, when do you last remember having it? Was it with you in your sarcophagus, and now it's not,
No, just
or is some other time?
some other time. He says before before this, and he kind of like points at himself, like kind of does one of these things. He says before this happened.
So, exactly how did this happen?
He looks at you momentarily, and he kind of decides better of himself, because there are many of you versus one of him, and he says, "I was bitten."
Once bitten,
Really?
twice shy. You know what they
Really?
say.
Listen, genius. Would you care to elaborate?
He says, "Well, I was out hunting, as we Durquois do, and I was in the tomb of a rather vile beast that
Hmm.
was plaguing some local villagers, and
Mm.
that was about 300 miles from here." And he says,
Mm.
"Up near the ice shelf, well, the spine of the world." And he says, I came into its tomb in the daytime, but
Mm.
unbeknownst to me, it was awake and ready for me.
Mm.
I don't
So it
remember.
sounds like
I
Just
don't
like
remember much after that. So as far as I'm aware, the fiend still exists. And he says, he kind of like looks at himself, and kind of puts his hand over his face, like, like so, and says,
Mm.
"Yes, the fiend." Kind of like looks a
Mm.
little upset at the fact that he is now the fiend. Like,
Like
be
he
your
should
best
have vanquished
guess.
this evil and he didn't.
Yeah, and now because of what he's done, he's essentially spread the evil.
Right.
He says, of course, he says, of course, there's only a matter of time. He says, if there is not a cure found soon, then you will likely have to come and destroy me. And
Gladly.
he looks at you specifically, and he says, and I know your friend up top will have no problem with that either.
I'll rub my axe.
Seductively. Clang, clang.
Yes, my precious.
Everyone's
soon, soon, my dear. So okay, well, so
Under Attack
we
says
could.
he speaks with a British accent. He must be a villain.
Good point.
Unlike other Robin
If he
Hoods,
had a
I can
mustache,
speak with a
he'd be
British
twirling
accent.
it. Right.
Uh,
So,
Yeah,
all right. Well, we
handlebar
just
mustache.
so we should put wooden stakes on the list just to be on the safe side. In this world, do they have to be like hemlock, or they have to be a particular type of wooden stake?
Nope. They just have to be wood. You'd be
Oh,
surprised, and you would be surprised at the amount of things that will die by driving a wooden stake through their heart.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
that's
Does
right.
it have to be wood? I mean, couldn't I just cut his heart out with my dagger or something and roast it on a fire?
No. You could cut out his heart with a dagger and roast it on a fire, but it would eventually grow back.
Ah, okay. So we have to stake it, and then I can
Now,
cut it out.
if you
Roast
cut
it.
off his head and then burned his body, then it would probably work.
Mm.
So we have to. All right, stop at the library. 100 ways to kill a vampire.
100 ways to kill. Also, you could uh, you could stake him, cut off his head, burn the head and the body separately, and that would definitely do the trick.
Or
Or drown him in a bury him in a running water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leave him in some place that's always sunny. You know.
Ah, yes.
so
Oh.
Philadelphia then.
Yes.
There you go.
Right. Durquois, one more thing. What have you been eating all this time?
He says, "I haven't."
No, you don't have the bloodlust yet.
He says, "Well, I sort of do, but if I allow the bloodlust to take me, then I of course will devolve even further." He
You'll
says,
turn.
"Yes, I will turn. I will turn faster if I allow the bloodlust to take me."
Ah, interesting. Well then.
Are you taking notes?
He says, "I am in my journal." So no.
Well,
So-
actually,
Is there? Oh yeah, write that down. So is there other than the fact of looking for a gem that looks like this, Rise of the Drow, name of the module has been
Right.
mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Is there? I mean,
Dun,
I'm sure.
dun, dun,
Does he,
dun. Oh wait. Oh wait.
I'm sure- I'm
Oh.
I'm sure he doesn't want to part with his journal, right?
Yes, he does not want to part with his journal.
So can we just ask him to kind of look at it so we can get any other relevant clues that are in the journal so that we don't miss anything?
Oh, okay. Okay. So he says, "I suppose, but I must have it back," and he
No problem.
hands you the journal.
You know, it gives you something to do while you're resting there.
Okay, so the journal basically gives you this background information on, several things, including an older sort of war against the Drow type of thing, or prophecy about the war against the Drow, I should say. An older prophecy about the war against the Drow, and then it also tells you about this gemstone. Hold on one second. Now you asked the right question. See how that goes?
we were getting there.
Right. Okay. So the gemstone talks about. So long ago, the avatar of a sly and greedy demigod snuck into the realm of a greater deity as it slumbered. From the deity's library, the demigod stole a rare folio, an atlas of planar dimensions. But the entity's proxies spotted the demigod and gave chase. The slinking thief managed to kill one of the librarians with his foul breath before fleeing through the beautiful gardens surrounding the building. There it spotted a portal hidden within a fountain and dove to escape. The demigod appeared on the material plane, a place it hadn't visited before. Once there, the avatar sought to hide the book, but knew the great entity would soon awaken and begin tracking its missing property. Luck was with the demigod in that the cave in which the avatar materialized was home to a rare and powerful sliver of a gemstone, which had plummeted from the sun to the planet's surface many years prior. Okay, so maybe it is the moon shard. I don't know. But no, I think this might be the sun shard. Who knows? I don't know. All right, so the demigod recognized his luck instantly. It read the book's opening instructions and it transferred some of its own deific essence and imbued the Alice's magic into the sliver. It glowed brightly, and it was obvious that the power was now hidden within. The demigod knew he had to hide the sliver, so channeled the majority of his remaining power to shape it into a large carved gem, then spread the energy throughout. Now it seemed a rare and expensive gem devoid of magic.
Sound familiar to me?
Yeah.
Suddenly, the Avatar felt a wash of the great divine. It had been discovered. The Avatar hid the gem in the corner of a cave and used the last sense of its power to blast his way out, fleeing into the grassy plains above. Uh, by chance, the explosion drew the attention of a young adventurer, Alan Duquois. Alan happened upon the cave entrance and found compelled to explore. To his absolute amazement, he stumbled upon a flat fist-sized gem, which would come to change his entire life and the world itself.
Are we all discovering this at the same time, Brian?
Whoever's reading it. So probably Slag, as
Okay.
he was given the journal. So probably Slag first, and then I don't know if he's reading it aloud or if he's relating it as he goes or if he's not relating it at all or whatever. But
He's a
basically,
bard. He's
that
probably singing.
there's your lore dump. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah, I'm definitely relaying it as I go. But the other thing is, I'm assuming I have Bard is never without his writing implements
correct.
and paper. So
Sure, sure.
if you would be so kind, as we'll take a moment and have him write at least the important parts or summary. And if you've got that, if you could put that in, I don't know, one of those great things that Roll20 has.
Oh, you want me to make a
so
handout?
that- please.
Oh, sure.
So-
I see how it is. It's
So
okay. I can copy.
When he
I
starts-
tricked you.
I can copy and paste.
as he's reading about divinity and gods and things like that, Yoei gets very solemn and very interested, and starts getting this sense of familiarity. So, is there anything that would be familiar to him, or anything he recognizes, or is he then just getting nostalgic for something in the past?
Make an insight check on this one.
Insights.
I'm gonna say that's gonna be your best bet because it's kind of like a internal, introspective type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Oh god. What'd I get?
8.
8? Oh yeah. That was a crappy roll. Nope, I'm just feeling conflicted apparently.
Yeah, just conflicted.
You ran into a mental barrier you could try to push against.
I will say he would be definitely visibly like, whoa, like what's
Like basically, you ever have one of those, like, it's not like deja vu because it's not quite deja vu, but it'd be like when something strikes a chord with your core being, but you're not sure why.
like I can't put my finger on this.
Yeah, like it doesn't. It's like it doesn't almost doesn't even at this point with that insight check. It almost doesn't even make sense as to why it would strike a chord with you.
Does Alan Dequa tear up while we're reading this?
Oh,
My
while you're reading it aloud,
Yeah.
he looks wistful, but he does not tear up.
Because he got no fluids.
If he cried, it would be blood, but he would cry blood tears, but that would be bad for him since he doesn't drink blood.
Right.
He
It would.
he basically whittling away his own hit points.
He doesn't have a supply of blood to cry.
Yeah.
I mean, he might bite a rat or two, I guess. I don't know whether he needs
Yeah,
to do
he's
that.
probably like I mentioned, he's probably been dead for close to 100 years anyway. So
He sounds goody enough to where he's probably even staved off the rats. Like he might be licking the catacomb walls at this point. Who knows?
yep. He hungers, but he doesn't eat.
Yeah, I'll stand there and also be looking wistful.
Okay, well, we got that written down now, and it's in the notes, so we can refer to it.
Oh,
when
you
we
know
run
what?
into other stuff.
I will let you. I'm going to change that to where you can edit it too, because it's not very. It's written like in a funky way. So there, you can edit it to where it's like, more readable if you want that kind of thing.
I don't know if you're writing
Okay.
these down or not, Brian, but if you want to put a note in there for like XP, I can try to keep track of the XP you hand out
I
just while you're making notes.
Yeah, I don't know
If
if I
you,
have a session notes or
um,
campaign notes, but I should have that.
mm, mm,
There is a party treasure too.
yeah, I've been using that. I've been
Yes,
using that.
campaign notes, soul survivors. That's the old one. So let me get rid of that. Let me edit that so not it's not in everybody's journal, so you don't just see it there for no reason. Um, all right. Yeah. So there's a campaign notes, uh, and it
Oh,
is
okay.
editable by all players. In a party treasure, editable by all players. Oh nope, it's not. All players, all players. Now it is. Do this. I got a H. Is it HQ default? HQ. There it
Well,
is.
there's a campaign notes up under Rise of the Drow.
Yeah, that's you. That's you
Yeah.
guys.
Okay.
It just doesn't have any notes in it yet because I'm terrible.
I just put XP in there. So.
And then the party treasure has an
Yeah, I added.
image.
Yeah, I've been adding to the party treasure.
Oh, okay. So the other party treasure or the new one?
The one under handouts.
There's.
This party treasure, the moon shard, mysterious swirling orb.
Uh,
Underneath the characters in the handouts section, you made a party treasure.
Okay. Yeah. I did make a party treasure for that. I didn't know if. Okay. All right. So I've got two party treasures. I can get rid of one.
Okay.
Let me get rid
Twice
of
as
this
much
one.
party treasure. All right.
I know. I mean, if you want to move the party treasure from the handouts up to
No,
Rise of the Drow, that would be kind of nice, so we can keep it all in one place. But hey,
Well,
we'll do that later.
I would put it in the handouts under Rise of the Drow, but sure.
Football, football.
But sure. All right. So,
Right.
and then campaign notes. I was gonna do this. Bloop. There we go. Now campaign notes has a nice little book to look at. Yeah.
Oh, there we
Wonderful
go.
content for people who are watching. Wonderful
Yay.
content.
Just mechanics.
Oh, and I forgot to introduce
Yes,
myself,
ma'am.
but that's okay.
This is Brian. He's our DM.
Brian,
This
the
is the
okayest DM ever.
He's the master of the story and the world.
Master of mediocrity. Wait,
all the
sorry.
villains have British accents. So do all the heroes.
It's the only one I got.
That's
It's the
the
only one I
G-
got.
That's the genius of it. You just don't know.
You just can't tell them apart. Anyway, okay.
So, okay. So, all right, we've got that. Thank you very much. So, had we decided after whether we're gonna go up and follow that way, or whether we're gonna try to follow where the tunnel spider came from and maybe run into something there? I know you had said Yue that you didn't want to go searching through catacombs. So,
After several moments have passed and some reading
Yeah.
and whatever, you hear a booming voice say, "Are you guys coming up or not?"
Huh? This is kind of like almost jogged awake. So I'll go. I'll just and I'll just walk. Like no goodbye, no I'm leaving. Just I'm going.
Okay.
Guess we're going up.
okay.
This just walks
Okay.
off.
So, all right, we may come back. You enjoy your journal. Hopefully, if we find a cure, we'll probably come back because I don't know. We can always use help. I have this feeling that I have a feeling this is not going to get any smaller as an adventure goes. And off I go.
I hope you don't get any smaller, friend. You're already small.
There you go.
Okay. All right. So. Okay, so you guys get out of the thing. Some of the townspeople have now kind of gathered there, talking to Thyron. outside the church, outside the cathedral. You know, on the main level there, on the outside on the ground, and it's basically leads you out like some cellar door type things. You know, um, and off the back of the church, off the back of the cathedral. And you do realize that like when you guys get up there, um, Thyron tells you, he says, some of the townsfolk have said that people have gone missing since they were captured by the Drow.
This is since we went down into the catacombs, or this is as a result of what happened earlier, and they're just finding out now.
Are you asking me or him?
I'm asking him.
Okay, he says no. Apparently, it was in the night. He says they're just discovering some of the townsfolk have been missing. Have gone missing.
Oh, as in like now that the chaos is over and they're checking themselves. Hey,
Right.
wait a minute,
Yep.
so and so's gone. Uh-oh.
And now that all is said and done with the cathedral kind of thing, the fire's been out now, and you guys went down
Right.
there to look around, and it's the next day. It's probably like almost noon now. You know.
Got
How
all the
did-
guys complaining that their wives didn't fix a breakfast. Oh, she's been abducted. Oh.
Ugh,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Who is missing?
Where's
Who
my
is missing?
dinner? Remember Pleasantville?
Ay, ay, ay.
Yep,
Where's my
yep.
dinner? That's hilarious. Anyway, So,
yeah,
yeah.
he says, "Wait a minute, who is missing?"
he says, as far as I know, just several of the townsfolk.
Anyone important?
It doesn't seem to be. Of course, we haven't found the priest yet, and they have not either.
Yeah, we think that this is the way that he may have come up after going down. He may have come up this way, possibly, because we couldn't find any other holes. Well, we did.
There's a lot of confusion, and it seems to be that part of the reason that the villagers were not aware of the others getting captured is because of the fight and the confusion and the fire and just all general confusion going on and now that they're assessing losses, so to speak, because some of them, some of the villagers didn't make it, but some are just missing.
Right.
So, how many, and are they men, women, children, grannies?
Uh,
Does he tell us? Does he say?
he says
Kitty
he
cats,
says I've been
dogs.
asking. It seems to be a variety, mostly older children or younger men and women.
Slaves.
Hmm. Probably.
Brian, you
Four.
we're seeing your role. We're seeing your roles. If you want to put
That's
them so
fine.
we can't see them.
Are you seeing
Well,
on
some
the
of it looks
stream,
like
or
it-
are you seeing them in the thing?
On roll 20.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
On roll 20. But well, yeah, but we're seeing what looks like you might be rolling for encounters or something.
Yeah, I should have not. It should have been 2 GM, but maybe I don't have it set that way. Hang on. Let me see if I can fix that.
Just I'm letting you know before
Yep.
You-
Hold
I
on.
want to play this.
I
fair-
heard
fair and
boop. I didn't even
square.
look. You are right.
The reason I say
Yeah, it's gonna take a
because
while
it
to
says
fix that.
enca-
But yeah, I'll just do.
It's
What?
because it says encounter right on it. That's why I said it looks
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it might be
yeah.
an encounter.
Yep. Yeah, I need to fix that to where it's only whispering to me, but
That's cool.
I don't know how to do that just yet. I had to make the macro to begin with, and that was like, you know what? Let me try this. WGM. Let's try. Let me try that and see if it changes it. Did that work?
We didn't say anything.
All right, that worked.
It didn't vanish. Oh, okay, good, good, good. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. If
So,
you're watching the stream, you can see I rolled another one. So just
okay. So now we can't. So now we can't see what you're gonna
yeah,
throw at
I
us.
rolled three more now.
Good, my song worked.
Alain de Croix. Sorry.
It's all right.
Suddenly you got a French
See, you got a
accent.
French
Yeah,
accent.
suddenly you got a French
Yeah.
accent.
Did our villains just get more villainous?
Oui, oui. Anyway,
And they quack.
I am evil.
I am
Have
so
a baguette.
I am so
I
getting
have-
canceled.
It is.
Evelyn
I'm now. I am also more stylish and will have more panache.
Right, right.
Right.
And I drink wine, not ale.
I am much more eloquent now.
I have an appreciation for art, and I have an appreciation for song and romance. So,
I
okay,
drink
we found out
wine.
that
And I don't drink any of that ale.
I do not drink any of your piss water.
I don't want any of your mead. Give me the sweet wine. Nice and warm, please.
All right. So yeah. So you guys are outside.
Yep.
You kind of look toward the woods. Near the edge of town. Those are kind of where would be the best place to flee to, especially if you were trying to hide during the night, or even the day, really. But especially if you're trying to hide at night and trying to get away from people, and you decided to, what I'm saying, like, evade capture, so to speak, or evade.
So kind of like
Notice.
your options are back to town or in the woods. So.
Right, or
Once we get
way south via open plain, kind of, or open field.
once we get closer to the woods, I want to do a survival check to see if I can pick up any tracks.
So you are going to head over toward the woods then? All right.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah,
All right. Let's do
This
this.
is- I feel the nudge to being pushed over towards there for sure.
All right. Let's do this then.
Maybe.
I believe I can fly. There we go.
Ooh, is that
Okay,
ambient forest music I hear?
Yeah.
The birds are singing, the sun is shining, it's a lovely day.
Oh, I have it at nighttime, but it would be daytime. So let me fix that.
Ah, that would be why my screen is black.
Yeah, and I have the music wrong too. The music is at night, and I should have day. Hold on.
Yeah, that'll kill the immersion.
Yeah, definitely. we're all gonna walk into the woods and be like, something ain't right here.
Mountain Realm of the Grey Elves in Day. There we go, by Kevin MacLeod. There we go. All right, so and let me fix because I have the dynamic lighting set for nighttime. So there we go. So
I was gonna
that
say-
should fix that possibly.
I gotta reload. I just see a big
Come
old
here,
black
Steve.
Now it says daytime, but of course nobody is freaking visible right now. Hold on one second.
Yeah, I see blackness.
Dynamic lighting, daylight mode. Okay. Yeah, save settings. Okay. So we got to put. Also, the reason you see blackness is because no one's on the map yet. Hang on one second. I have to find you guys. That is. I'm gonna put you guys coming in from the southwest. Where is Callan? There he is, Callan. And Silverhorns. Where are your buddies? Ah, they're there. Here's your buddies. Gold Sneezer, Gregor, Thyron. Sorry, Sven.
Then
Sven is not with us because Sven
he's
is
the cleric.
Sven
he's
has been
stoned.
stoned. Yep, he's still stoned.
Sven.
Or
Can't believe his
Sven.
name is Sven.
He's Swedish.
Sven.
Or Norwegian or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he could be either.
Yeah,
Sven.
he's not sweet. He's just Swedish. You know,
He's just sweet-ish. Yeah.
sweet-ish. Yeah.
Yes, thing
I
comes out
see. Yeah.
again.
See,
All right. So
I
yeah.
see you
So
haven't updated my hit points.
why would I update your hit points?
Oh yeah, we leveled up. My hit points are
We
wrong
leveled
too.
up. You said so.
Yeah,
You
but why
said
would?
so.
But why would you? What?
Oh, he's talking about on our tokens.
Yep.
Did you level up your
Your
character?
tokens. Yes.
Okay. So do your hit points not match what your character sheet says?
Mm.
That is correct.
Oh, interesting. Here, let me do this then.
Right?
It says
I
24 of
even
24 on my screen. Do you have 24 hit points?
Nope. I got 33 hit points because I'm 4th level.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
I used the character mancer.
Well, yeah, but
And,
that's
yeah.
weird that it's not matching up because I just updated the default token, but it now it's of course wrong. But hang on a second, let me see what's going on there. It should update when you update your character.
Mm.
A lot of other things did, but not that for some reason.
And of course now
Odd.
roll 20s being a pain in the ass, of course. All right, UA, how many do you have?
34.
God, roll 20. I'm refreshing you again because you're pissing me off.
See, we're not really playing Rise of the Drow. This is actually a roll 20 tutorial campaign.
Apparently so.
It is.
I'm gonna take
But
this.
don't worry, we're ambassadors of Roll20. We're to take Roll20 to
Something like
the
that.
ends of the earth.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't even refresh
Did
my.
you say we're ambassadors?
I can't even refresh my thing. We're supposed to be, I think, but you know, it's hard to say at this point. But
Yeah,
Emissaries,
whatever John did, his token seems fine, but
Yay,
Yeah.
John!
I used character
You did
mancer.
it right.
so double click.
Yeah.
So double click on your token.
Yes, sir.
and
says-
edit.
It says no. It I don't know. It says so. Yeah, nothing's working on my end. Hold on. Of course.
Yeah, I was able to edit it. Your token bar 1, the green one.
Yep.
Jeez,
Yeah.
Louise, pissing me off. Roll 20.
Ooh, can I have a token
Okay.
aura?
You can, but you don't. Wait until you cast a spell that requires one.
A what?
Oh man, I can give myself
Token
a
aura.
token
token
aura.
aura. Yeah, yeah.
I want it to be pink, real pink.
Oh,
Yeah,
Well,
right now,
let's- all right,
right
let's
now,
see
roll
what the-
20s. Okay, here we go. Now it's opening up. There we go. Jeez Louise.
what's okay? Bar 2 or the. All right, now the hit points is right. What's the? Just want to make sure if anything else needed to be updated. What's the first red one is supposed to be what?
Okay, now it's I just
Traffic.
refreshed the screen. Did you already change your hit points on there?
I did.
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. So well,
We both did.
so then I have no way of telling whether or not it worked or not, because yeah,
Sorry,
because you already
Oh,
did it.
you told us
You
to
told
double
us
click our
to.
tokens. And
Yeah, I didn't.
change
I
it.
didn't.
Yeah.
No. I said double click on your tokens. There was nothing said about changing anything, but sure. If
So
you
what's-
change it,
so-
then you
Yeah,
changed
that's
it. That's fine. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. It's just you just got a step ahead of me, is all.
So
Well,
the
it's
blue.
not our
the
fault.
blue
Apparently,
purple-
UA has 34 of 234 hit points right now because she changed it.
Good job.
Wow, you are
Boy, you
beefy.
really did level
You
up.
are beefy. One level and an extra 200 hit
Oh
points.
wait, sorry.
I'm hiding behind you.
There we go. I had to change it to reflect the accuracy.
Okay, there we go. And then
And so
Um,
the blue one is armor class, and what's the first red circle supposed to be?
passive wisdom.
First
Yep.
one. Yeah.
Okay, so none of those are going to change anyway.
Here goes roll 20 again. You know I'm gonna have to do this here. I'm gonna close this here. What in the frick is going on, roll 20? You're pissing me off.
Okay, so all you people who
Yeah,
have
look at this. I'm
practice
double
out there,
clicking on
you,
characters, and nothing's happening.
you can go and bump up your hit points without your DM being able to control it.
Right, yeah, because he's clicking on our characters and we're like, ooh, can't touch this.
Can't touch this. Do
Yes.
do do
So
do
passive
do do do
perception
do
of
do.
24, armor class of 25.
5,000 hit points. We're the
We're
strongest level
ready.
4 team ever.
Oh, well, I double click on slag and it worked. Bastard.
And
Work.
if we're let you guys know, the last couple fights, I'm down to low magic stuff. I got a little bit left, but if we're gonna dive into anything that's really gonna be combat heavy, we might want to. I would like to rest and recover some of my stuff first. A little
Oh.
combat would be fine, but if we're like, oh, here's the doorway to Menzo Baranzan or
I
something,
thought you
you know,
guys
I
just
would
took.
rather.
I thought you guys
We
just took
just
a
took a
long
long
rest.
rest.
Did we? I
That,
did not
Yeah.
record
that's
that. Well,
that's how you leveled up, because otherwise you wouldn't have been able to level up.
Yeah, you gotta
oh,
take a
good
long.
point.
You gotta take a long
Good
rest to
point.
level up.
So,
In
so
any
we
case,
slept in the
in the tomb.
we slept in the tomb.
Yep,
Great.
slept
Yes.
in the tube.
All right.
Well, you don't have to sleep to take a long
Well-
rest, but sure. I mean, it does usually require that you take about X amount of hours of sleep, but
Incidentally, I managed to get through that one.
my connection to the server has been interrupted. Anything you do right
With,
now will be a piece of shit.
Most of my magic intact.
Yep. I used mine to shatter skeletons. That was fun.
Yeah.
So all right. Well then, thank you very much for reminding me. Now, okay, never mind.
All right,
right.
good thing
I
roll
gotta
20
read
is
that.
acting up. I love it when that happens. But
Let me see.
okay, so anyways, at any rate, you essentially have dealt with everything in the cathedral, and you find yourself at the thick thick scrub at the edge of the cathedral grounds and the brave edge of the dark wood.
So Silverhorn, did you see anything?
I don't know. Do I see anything?
Um, for tracks, what did you roll? Did you
An
roll a
18.
Oh yeah, he did.
then possibly yes. Hold on one second.
Very clear footprints. Almost as if they intentionally left them.
Yeah, you see what appear to be well, you do see some what appear to be humanoid footprints.
Okay.
Yeah, one second. Yeah. What in the world? Oh my gosh, roll 20. Go home, you're drunk.
Figure if they're taking a bunch of townsfolk away, they should be leaving some kind of a trail.
And with any luck, we'll find the priest too. Can always do with a priest.
Like a single set of footprints, or
Hang on. I'm looking because
huh.
there should be multiple things going
No,
on
they're
here,
married.
but this is actually the wrong map, but it's a wood map, so
Right.
let me put you on a different wood
I
map.
detected that this is the wrong map we're on, guys.
Powers of perception are amazing.
What the
I
hell?
have a newfound appreciation for bards. Not really.
Hold on one second. Oh my god. Oy vey.
GM crisis.
GM irritation for sure.
Mhm.
Here, let's do this. Nope,
Quick,
can't do
somebody
that.
sing the Soft Kitty song.
Yay, a storm. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this one that's called Woods, but of course, it's not there. So, hold on.
Soft Kitty. Damn it! I forget the Soft Kitty song.
Soft Kitty, won't
Starts
you
Soft
give
Kitty.
all fur?
Kitty. Yep.
I don't know the rest of it. Da 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 purr purr purr. Feel much more
Alrighty
relaxed
then.
now, Brian.
Alrighty.
I remember this. Remember the Smelly Cat song.
I knew you
Smelly
were gonna say
cat,
that.
smelly
I knew
cat.
you were gonna say that. I knew it. I'm
We
over
got
here thinking,
Transmog
smell
real
it,
quick.
cat.
Smelly Cat.
What are they feeding you? Okay.
Okay.
Wow, there is so much messed up stuff going on right now. With roll 20. Okay. That's what I like about
Well, I
it.
was thinking of another cat song that we should just not even go there, but
Fair enough.
Mm.
Try that.
But too
Brian,
many.
if you want to at some point, if you want to have Spike, my friend that's my animal friend that is not a familiar and doesn't have any special powers, but it's just a pet, or we can just assume that he's along with me.
Okay, alright. Yeah,
What kind of-
He
we
doesn't
will
no
assume
spe-
that he's.
You described
White-
him before, but I don't remember.
He's a fox.
Basically he's an
Huh?
Arctic fox. Yeah,
Okay, I was
But, yeah,
gonna say weasel, but
but-
close enough.
we could make him an ermine if you want, but yeah, I had him as a fox, but yeah, no powers, no no familiar thing, just kind of as a
Hmm.
just
Cool.
a pet. And he hides when he runs and hides whenever there's trouble. So
Right.
he's not very brave.
Like, I'm not going down to that dungeon.
No way. Yeah, he didn't come down with us. He was waiting up top.
He's like, no.
I'll smell when you return.
I'm gonna just stay out.
Occasionally
Oh, my
he
goodness.
accompanies what does the fox say when I do that song.
That's the only way you can call him. You have to sing that.
Yep, yep, yep.
What does the fox say?
That was done by a Norwegian group called Ylvis. FYI.
Oh, there's
I
actually.
like the commentary when Tails the fox comments on that song.
Yeah, yeah. Under
What
attack
the
says.
hell? You don't say that.
Under attack it says, I wrote an inoffensive joke recipe for preparing roast vampire, and it deletes every single thing I've said in chat. and then he wrote, happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And why would he know that?
I don't know.
He's,
Why didn't we know part of it?
as a-
What was I
I used to
looking
work
for?
with a guy that was named Doug Fox, and he was my union chairperson. So
Ah.
I used to say, I always just say, "What does Doug Fox say?"
Nice. All right, let's try that. Oh shoot! Wrong thing. Stop it, you piece of tripe. Oh,
When
right.
anybody
Piece
a-
of tripe. I haven't heard that one.
When anybody
That's a good-
asked me a union question, I'd be like, "What does Doug Fox say?"
Every opportunity you took it, huh?
Oh, yeah.
no. All right, we're gonna do this here. One second, let me do this.
If it's funny the first time, it'll be
Do you-
hilarious the 100th time.
Right.
Do you need to take a short break or something?
Maybe to take a
Or our long break, maybe?
maybe.
Mm.
What the hell? Okay, so
I mean, my coffee cup is empty.
all right. Well, we could take a break. What
Oh,
time
no.
is it, anyways?
It is
12:45.
almost
All right,
12
let's
o'clock.
let's take a momentary break then, and I will try to batten down the hatches, so to speak.
All right.
All
Don't
right,
worry,
be right
we'll be
back.
back with more great content.
And next, the bard is going to sing the
With
hit song "Hop for
we'll be
Goblin."
we'll be back with the okayest content ever.
That's right.
Mini buffet.
A mini buffet. Okay, so let me go back to
Of topless what people?
topless people.
All John hears is
Went to a
topless.
went to
The topless
Headless
restaurant.
I went to a
headless person found in topless bar.
went to a bar. It said topless, bottomless. Went inside. There was no one there.
God. They're topless, but they're all men.
I'd be like staring at Brian's nipples forever.
Oh, you gotta have a hobby. All right, so
Just when I come
Tell
to
me
stay
we're
the
not.
night, keep them contained.
yeah, we're live, yeah.
Oh,
Why not?
are we? Okay, I have to say, yes, I go to Brian's house and stay the night, but he is family. It is not like that.
I think you're making it worse.
Yeah,
He's from Millington.
Don't worry.
I'm not from Millington. I'm not. All my family is, but
Yeah. So you know that.
Go by proxy.
oh shit. Got extra.
You know,
okay, how many
we know.
viewers do we still have?
One
They all went like
one viewer. All right, yeah, one of them had to leave, so he was actually just called me on the phone and asked if I was going to be ready when he got here. I'm like, yeah, but when you get here. All right, so anyways, now we're on the right map, kind of ish thing.
We
you know?
are. We're on the same map.
Oh, okay. I am on the right map. You guys are not. Let me fix that.
Want me to hit refresh or?
No, nope. It'll refresh when I change the map.
Oh, there it go. Ooh, there's many more trees now. Tree-er.
Yeah.
It's tree
And snow. That makes sense.
Yeah, because it's winter out. Remember, there's snow. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, solstice and all.
Yeah. So if there's snow, these tracks ought to be pretty easy to follow. Hopefully.
Yeah, unless it snowed over.
Hmm. I don't know. Don't cows have good senses of smell? Like, they're animals.
Anyways, this tracks.
Just the idea of Silverhorns with his nose to the ground. It's just amusing to me.
So you know chemistry, but not large husband biology. Okay, no something.
Yeah.
It's got a nose that can smell.
Here we go. We have some critter tracks. Find some critter tracks.
Ooh.
Some bigger critter tracks. Let me see. Put some there too. What does it say? There's tracks all
some
over.
humanoid ones.
And some humanoid tracks. I'm trying to find some humanoid ones. I don't know if I can find any. Anyway, maybe if I look up footprints, maybe that's what
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
You're just going to have to pick something big like elephant tracks and be like, just, pretend.
right?
Yeah, shred it tracks.
Let's see. What is this? Is this footprints? I think it is. Yeah, it's some footprints-ish. There we go. Anyway, so they trail off
They're
into
moving.
the woods there.
They're moving footprints.
Those special moving kind.
Those prints.
Ah. Somebody drags their feet.
Or drag someone with them.
Yeah. I'll point
Brian,
out.
I put it. Oh, go ahead.
I'll point out the tracks to everybody, and I'll be like, "This could be them. We might want to follow this trail."
Silverhorns, can you tell what other than the humanoids, can you tell what the animal tracks, what types of animals they are?
Probably. I
So
could make a nature check.
well, you already rolled. Would you be able to tell that with a good survival roll too? I'm not sure.
What now?
What do you say?
Can I tell what
was
kind of
he alive?
animals?
Oh
Those tracks are?
yeah. Like some humanoids, some bear tracks, some like raccoon, rabbit, different things like that.
Right. Okay.
With that 18, you can tell that there's critters in the woods, and the humanoid ones look like humanoids. There are some humanoid ones that look rather large, but they're not like large is relative, and like you're pretty big, Silverhorns,
Right.
so they're
Right.
not like too big to be humanoids. Also,
Right.
Like size 13 or 14 shoes big.
yeah, like that.
Basketball player feet.
Hey now, I wear a size 13 shoe.
Are you? Well, you play basketball, right?
No.
Strikes everyone with giant feet plays basketball and is 7 feet tall.
Yeah, right. Isn't that how? Isn't that work?
Mhm.
My feet are too big for me,
Can you
so it
tell?
don't count.
Mhm.
Silverhorn, so you could tell which way they go.
Yeah, I'll say they go off this way. We should probably follow them.
My wife would tell me I'm a hobbit
Oh, you're not a hobbit.
because I'm short and I got big feet.
Do you eat 5 meals a day?
If I could, maybe I would, but no.
You have
I
second
actually
breakfast.
I could, but no, I don't. Okay, so what are you're gonna follow the tracks? Is that the
Yeah.
consensus?
I'll follow. I'll follow Silverhorns.
The humanoid tracks, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll send you away after the bear. Let's.
All right. You want to kill something? Sure.
The wood grows a little bit silent. Uh, you look toward the woods, and you see clearly before you your quarry for the first time. Stepping from the brush, a lone drow clad in ebony armor addresses the shadows behind her. These would make troublesome slaves. End them, brothers. Yofflid has enough cattle. And you see, hold on, let me see. I gotta put the drow there. I don't know where the drow went. Anyways,
So is she the one that zipped
God
off
damn it! I mean, gosh
that
darn
we
it!
saw? She's the
What?
one that we saw take the moon shard, right? In the church.
You're not sure.
Oh.
All Drow look alike.
Well, remember one of the most important things is that that the drow you saw in the church was dressed as a human hunter type person.
Right.
Oh, okay. That's right. I know, man. That bitch might have my moon shard, so.
Oh my gosh,
So,
you stupid thing.
quick question, Brian. I sent you a text on in Roll20. Just how in general, how much do we as a group know about Drow? I mean, they're bad and we don't see them very much. They're legendary. We don't know if we up until just now, or weren't even sure they existed until this adventure.
No,
Or,
you would.
we know about the.
You would know about Drow as if you would know about everything else in the world, kind of like to a degree. You would know that like a lot of them are
Oh, there goes my camera.
living underground.
Okay.
You would know that some of them are used as rumors to tell you know children's bedtime stories to scare little children, so to speak. Um, and some of them are just um, uh, I don't know how to explain it. Like, but basically,
No, that's fine.
basically
I
they're
mean,
like
it's
they're like
good.
they're like just they're you've probably seen Drow before. I mean, but
Okay, yeah. I mean,
not necessarily
I wasn't sure.
evil ones, because obviously that some of them wouldn't necessarily exist very well in
Above ground.
yeah, above ground, or just in society. If they were doing like nasty stuff, they would probably wouldn't fit very well into society. But
Hmm.
So yeah. Anyway, so hold on, I'm looking for something.
Well, at this point in time, they haven't seen us.
No,
So I just kind
they
of like,
no 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 they definitely have seen you.
well, they
Yeah.
have, okay.
they definitely have seen you,
Hmm.
and you kind of seem you guys seem to be the ones that the things are addressing. If that uh, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
they're
like
talking to us.
the
Oh, they're
Or at least
talking.
about it.
the drow say yeah, there's talking about you at least at the very least.
Yeah.
Oh, they're talking about us. Okay, get
Yeah,
rid of us. All right.
they're saying yeah yes
We're not
Yeah,
going to
they're
make
yeah.
saying
good slaves.
they're going to make bad slaves, get rid of them. That's that's essentially the gist of it.
Ah, gotcha.
And
That
y'all
has got to be the worst
and
insult I've ever heard.
Yofflid, yeah, Yofflid has enough cattle. Is what it was said about you.
Yeah.
You're not gonna make good
Yoffley.
you're not gonna make good cattle. So you know. Well,
Bitch.
here we go. Here we go. Hold on one second. I am taking a screenshot because fucking this happens every fucking
Oh my
time, and I've been
god.
trying to do this with Roll20 for fucking decades now, and every time I want to tell them about it, they're like, "Oh, we don't know what's going on," and then you know, like I have
Hmm.
no screenshot to show them.
Okay, so
Big
the roll 20
shot.
people were the durs then, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I have no
Okay.
screenshot to show them. So right now I have a character sheet up, and the character sheet uh, has no stats, and it has a title, it has a name, but it has no stats, and it says what the creature is, which in this case is an imp, right?
Mm.
But
Yep.
there's no stats, and it gives me immediately the options of create a character, create an NPC, or edit sheet directly.
So you don't have like imp as an. Do they have two different entries for imp? One for imp as a character. I don't know if you could make an imp character, and one as a monster.
Well, you could, but that's not what it
Oh.
is. It's the name imp. So if it was a
Ah.
character, it would be a character named imp. You know, but
Well.
that's neither here nor there. It's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to just bring up the stat block for the imp.
Ah.
So hang on. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
doing quite the opposite. Yeah, so I'm capturing that. Okay, there we go. All right, so edit sheet directly? No, I don't know. I don't fucking know. But yeah, from the Monster Manual 1, all the time when I'm putting an imp on the thing, it is constantly offering me basically a blank sheet,
Hmm.
and it should be when I drag a character to the map, it should give me like you can see in if you're watching the stream. This is Devil Fire Imp thing here. This is a different thing, but it's from a different book. It's from the Creature Codex, but it's showing me the stats for the thing, just like a whole stat block, right? If you're watching the stream, and then if I bring that from the Monster Manual, the same sort of thing, it's supposed to do the same thing. However, often, let's see what it does this time, and there it goes. It brought me the stat block. But previously, it brought me a blank sheet and said, "Do I want to make a character, create, edit it directly, or so on and so forth?" You know, like it's like it does that all the time, and I'm like wondering why Roll20, like why it's doing that on my. I don't think it does it to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, it worked this time, so that's good. And then I gotta
Hey.
look up a drow. But it does it quite often whenever. But it only does it when I'm drawing from the monster manual itself.
Oh, okay.
It's like if a creature codex works, Morton Canis Toma Foes, Volo's Guide to Monsters, you know, all that stuff works. Monster Manual 1 does not. Like, that's the one that gives me the most issue. It's weird.
Mm.
It would be almost as if I didn't have the Monster Manual associated with the. Okay, so yeah, so the Drow's up here, and you see one. Hold on, where is it? Two of these little fire demon things. imps in this case.
Gasp.
You may recognize them as imps, Slag, specifically because you have a tiefling here in your heritage, right? I believe you do.
You
Oh,
betcha.
nice.
I am a chief.
And is UA no UA is Azamar, but UA
I
being
know.
Azamar would also probably recognize them as imps. And then there's two large, menacing looking,
Hmm.
uh, almost looking a little bit like undead, but they're just a gray skinned humanoid, uh, with kind of saggy skin, almost look like little hill giants.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then so the Drow gets ready, and you guys should roll initiative. As soon as I can find the turn tracker, there's the turn tracker.
They're not abyssal, are they?
The imps.
Yeah, no, whatever.
Um,
The imps are imps, but what about the giant hill giant things?
no, they're not. The imps in this case are.
Oh, silver ones.
Nice.
The imps in this case are infernal,
Ah, okay.
not abyssal, but the other things are the giant humanoids. Are not abyssal either. They're
Oof.
look almost like a large human, right? But well, almost like the size of a large human, but look kind of like hill giants shrunk to the size of a large human, and they're
Mm-hmm.
got a kind of a gray skin, more like a stone giant.
Okay. I have a quick question.
Sure.
In the roll 20 screen here, we're looking at our map. Everybody's avatar is kind of displayed across the bottom. How do I get rid of those? Because they are covering the map up.
What are you talking about? Oh, okay. So what you want to do for roll 20 is go into the gear at the top right of your screen there.
Yeah.
Here, let me see if I got. There's everybody.
What is it?
So the top right, so the gear, and then you're gonna go to graphics, I believe. Nope, not graphics. I lied. Audio and video,
Audio and video.
and then there's two tabs. There's audio, video, chat, and then video display. And you're gonna want to click on video display,
Oh, okay. All
and then
right.
change player video avatar size to names only.
Thank you very much. I would not have even thought to look there. I would have thought maybe display.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Now I can see myself. Now I can roll initiative. It was just like, I can't get to my character.
Right.
Alright. Alright, I have clicked on my character. Okay. Well. Oh, brilliant.
What'd you get?
Like three
Oh,
points.
3. Ouch.
3.
Dang.
Obviously, I am lost in thought.
He's going tomorrow. All right. So let's see. Do this here.
Time to eat a peanut butter cracker. Oh my god, look! Oh my gosh, can you guys see this?
What?
My peanut butter cracker has no peanut butter.
It's just a cracker at this point.
This little strip at the top. Wow. I'm a little disappointed here.
All right. So oh, he didn't roll for everybody today. Nope. All right, and we'll do descending order now. There we go. All right, looks like Silverhorns is going to go first, probably.
I'm gonna go there. And I think I can hit just about everybody with my javelin except for this. this guy. He's out of my range. I'm gonna bonus action rage. Ooh, 8. Let's see what that does.
Oh, is it the wild magic thing?
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
8. Here, I'll throw it up in the chat.
Now, aren't you supposed to? Okay, hold on. Roll on the wild magic table to determine the magical effect produced. Oh, okay, 8. A bolt of light shoots from your chest. Another creature of your choice that you see within 30 feet of you must succeed on a Constitution save or take 1d6 radiant.
And be blinded until the start of your next turn.
Who would that be?
Okay. Let's see.
Until your rage
Oh.
ends, you can also use that effect again on each of your turns as a bonus action.
We'll hit the
Nice.
Drow with it.
All right. So go ahead and oh no, he's gonna make a con save.
Yep.
And he failed. Ouch.
All
Or
right.
she failed. I should say. So yeah.
1d6. 5 points of damage, and she's blind. And
Okay.
it's also one going to attack with a javelin. Oh, wish that was a gnat.
Right.
Eight points of damage.
Okay. 8 points of damage.
Yep.
Right.
And that would be my turn.
Wow, nice opening 4 right there, Silverhorns.
Thanks.
Okay. So this little imp went to market. Flies up over here by Silverhorns, and hold on one second. Stings at tries to do a sting on Silverhorns
It's
and hits for 7 damage and 6 poison damage.
all right. I take half damage on the piercing because I'm raging.
Right, so 3.
So 3 plus 6.
And then you
so
make
9
a DC 11.
Constitution save. All right.
Yep, DC 11 con save versus the poison. If you pass the poison save, you only take half as much poison also. Ew. Okay, so you take 6 poison. So
Ew.
3 piercing and 6 poison.
I only rolled a 3. That sucked. All right.
Then this one here, this imp here,
Yep.
you see it disappear.
Then we don't see it disappear.
Yeah, and
Because
you
it
don't see it disappear.
disappeared.
Because it disappeared.
What I do? What
Okay.
was my character speed?
Hold on. Okay. And that's it for that thing. And then this thing here, here, let me do this a little bit. Wait. There we go. This thing here, moves up. They both move up at the same time, kind of. It tries to attack Silverhorns also. And he's using a big spiked bone club.
Hmm.
And he misses and drops his club.
Yes.
And
I'm
this
gonna
one
take
here, this one
club
here,
when they die.
this one here swings his spiked bone club And he also misses, but he doesn't drop his club. And then Callan, you're up.
Okay, I just changed what I was going to do. Okay. Hope I can just took a quick measurement. Okay. Not necessarily the smartest of moves, but I'm hoping for some help. I'm gonna go here and position myself
I forgot to.
so that I can get a 15-foot cube and cast Thunderwave to try to catch all these three in it. It's a 15-foot cube in front of me, so I'll position so I'm not going to hit Silverhorns, but I'm going to hit these three. Do you want me to try to draw a 15-foot cube, or
Hang on one second. What are you doing?
Or who?
No. What?
Thunderwave.
Okay.
And Thunderwave is a cube in front of me, 15 foot by 15 foot, and I want to position myself so I'm not hitting Silverhorns, but I am hitting all these three guys because they lined up so nicely.
All right. Hold on one second. I'm gonna give you.
Hold your ray of frost.
I was just typing. Ignore that. I clicked. I wanted to expand, and I didn't. I hit the wrong thing. I was trying to drag it up when I really had to scroll.
I don't have any grid on this map, do I?
No.
I just measured
it's
so
there. It's just really, really light.
Yeah.
No, sorry. I'm not wanting to. I need to hit the eye.
It's still there, but okay, there we
But
go.
I quit.
That'll help.
There we go.
Okay, so here's Callan. Here's your Thunder Wave. Here, let me do this. Controlled
Ooh, it keeps
by.
coming and going.
There you go. So yeah, so you can put it like. Is that where you're thinking, or?
Oh, let me move it. See, I don't want it. I want it there.
Yeah, you move it wherever you want it.
So there, and so it doesn't get Silverhorns, but it does get these gentlemen.
Okay.
These gentlemen here.
Or gentle ladies, or what gentle thems.
Okay.
Okay.
So put the description. I'm gonna. Well, you didn't put it up there. Yeah, put the description of the spell up there real quick.
All right. I just I must have made it go away. There we go. Come on, load, baby, load. It's thinking about it. There we go.
There we go.
Now it's decide to load.
Spell save.
So it's a DC save of 15.
Mm-hmm.
And thunder damage.
On a failed save, a creature takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away from you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just wanted to check on that. I wanted to double check on that how it's worded. So should be good.
Yeah, and it's and it's also there's a big boom, so and I'm gonna upcast it.
Okay.
Boom. Oh, great! I got a whole extra 1 for upcasting it.
Okay.
Yeah.
They all failed. So here, let me do this.
16.
What?
16
So that would
damage.
take 16 then.
And which way
16
you
damage. They're going this way because
because of the direction.
because it specifically says away from him. So I figured that this is the closest to away from him. That's why I asked, because I thought, well, if it's pushing them in a specific direction, depending on where he was at, they might run into you, John.
Right.
And I was trying to avoid that.
Yeah, so I would imagine that they would go that direction, kind of, All right.
Because they were forced to move, I don't get an opportunity attack, right?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
Not with Thunderwave. I think Dissonant Whispers you're allowed to, but because they have to take a reaction in that case. But
right.
That's it. Let's see. Ooba dooba 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 gets.
Ooba dooba dooba.
Yeah. Ooba dooba dooba, you've got bardic inspiration.
Okay. Oh boy.
Hmm, froze again.
All right. So, oh, you froze on
And that's my
camera.
turn.
Did you freeze on camera? All right, that's your turn. Okay, so the
Oh, this
Drow
is
is
like
up next.
this is the third time. Oh, the drow.
Did the imp take some damage from slamming into the tree trunk?
Oh, that's a good question. A good question. I would say yes. So okay, roll. Yeah, so it took 3 damage from hitting the tree trunk.
Hmm.
Hitting the tree at nice rate of force. Now that's not a raw thing, but I like to, whenever there's something like that makes sense. Like it would be pushed back. It's not like they're getting pushed back 10 feet and
Gently.
gently. Yeah, yeah. It's the kinder gentler thunder wave. So yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say yes, but so yeah. 3 damage is what he took by hitting that tree. And then the Drow goes. And I was looking for something.
The blinded drow.
The blinded Drow, yes.
We need to capture his ass.
It's like yeah, that's an old bar I used to go to, the blinded drow. The whole bar is it's in huge bright lights. It's the opposite of a normal bar.
So the Drow casts a spell.
Looks like darkness.
Slightly too big. There we go. Now that should be about the right size. Alright. The Drow casts a spell right about there. Nope, hang on. Sorry. Right there. And then it is going to... Here, let me put this to the back so you can kind of still see your characters, but you just kind of have to imagine that you can't see anything. And then
Gotcha.
I'm going to roll 1d8. This Drow is a little bit confused and freaking blinded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And runs this way. Runs a little bit further, hits a tree. Kind of swiftly, but doesn't take any damage. And then finishes his movement by changing this direction, hitting another tree, and then heads back this direction, and ends up about there.
Okay.
Obviously, he's not hiding. He's crashing around like a ping pong ball, really.
Nice job blinding and so forth. Now we can't see that. Even if we're in a little bit of the darkness, it's still total dark to us. Right?
But UA does see, and UA and Gold Caesar, Thyron, and Gregor all see him come stumbling out of the big dark cloud and kind of run toward another tree and kind of like he's trying to hold out his hands and trying to wave his way around. So yeah.
Oh God, that means he would he's not gonna see spells coming at him, arrows, anything.
Right. That means you guys are at advantage to hit and everything. So yeah.
Oh my God.
So technically, you guys who are in the cloud, even if you shot at him in his general direction, you'd have to guess where he's at. But
I have a question. Did our merc friends go already?
no, none of them went yet. So I didn't.
Oh.
I forgot to put them on initiative roll. So Gregor would have went next, but I just figured I'd have them start over at the top of the
Well,
initiative order. Unless you would rather them go first, and I could have all three of them go right now.
well, what I would like, since we're all watching this Drow flail around, say, why don't we just go grab him? Like, there's 4 of us and 1 of him. Can we subdue him? Can we, I can try to knock him out with a spell or something and try to knock him out. He's trying to plan here. He's like pointing like,
Right.
it.
Okay, so that's going to be your kind of your not your action, but kind of like what you're doing on your turn.
Well, yeah, he's going to try to. I mean, like I said, I'm assuming we're all watching this guy flail around, kind of
Okay,
like,
yeah. So he'll.
like hint, hint. You getting this? Like, guys, can we do something about him
Okay, yeah. Her. It's a her, but yeah.
or
So
her?
yeah. So Gregor says, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem, and he heads off this direction,
Okay,
30 feet. Um.
so like, I am tasking you three with capturing this Drow.
And he goes another 30 feet and stops. This guy goes also about 60 feet and stops. Gold Sneezer goes about 60 feet. Nope, 60-ish feet and stops. And let's see, what can. I will see real quick what they can even do. I think Gold Sneezer might be able to do something here. Hold on one second here.
Entangle or web or
Hmm. Then again, I could be wrong. Um, actually, here, let me look at this description for this spell here. Touch a creature, the creature's jump distance is tripled until the spell ends. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know if I can do anything with that, but hang on one second. Let me see, what can he do? What can Gregor do? Gregor can throw a net, but does he have the ability to do so is the question.
and what does Annette have to say about it?
Right, it is a consensual. So yeah, Gregor. One second. You don't have any spells yet because he's not high enough level. Gregor throws a net. Let's see. Roll 1d20 plus Dex is 4. Ooh, he misses with the net. Oh wait, he's at advantage. You're right.
He misses the blind trap.
And he hits barely with the net because he gets a 14 and then a 15. Okay, so yeah, so he hits with the net, and the Drow is now restrained in this net, so his movement becomes 0. Thyron really can't do a whole lot at this point because they're all kind of, you know, out of movement and don't really have anything they can do. But Thyron does take his mace and kind of chuck it at the Drow.
Long distance bomb.
Yeah, kind of chucks it at him just to like end over end type of thing. And mace is not a thrown weapon at all. But he chucks it at the Drow and kind of bonks him a little bit with it, and the Drow kind of here. Let me do what is it? 1d4 improvised damage. The Drow kind of takes a good hit and
Whoa, yeah,
moves a little bit less than he was, like struggles a little bit less.
While muttering FML.
Yeah,
my
yeah.
Life. I didn't sign up for this shit.
Yep. And then Silverhorns, you're top of the round again.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. Question.
Mm-hmm.
The Drow cast darkness, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's concentration. Is he still holding that spell?
Oh yeah, good call.
Because if he is, damn, we need to be careful.
There we go. Yeah, he is still holding concentration.
Shit.
I'm gonna try to move.
Okay, roll 1d8. Okay, you can move north.
That's where I was going to try
You
to.
you hit a tree, um, and I will allow you to. You would have kind of had an idea of what was around you when the darkness came up, so I will
Right.
allow you to go left when you hit the tree.
Like,
Go
oh
go to
yeah,
the
that
west.
tree
Yeah,
is
like I
there.
remember that tree there. Now I know where I'm going, kind of thing.
Right.
Mm.
There. So now you're out of the darkness cloud.
Okay.
So that's only what 5, 10 feet
Yeah.
that you moved. So you've got plenty of movement left still. However, there's a small thing to consider here. As you move,
Okay.
He packs into the bear.
Oh yeah. Both
I
missed.
don't think that missed. I think that missed you. Yep. Yeah. Okay. So as you move, the imp that was near you, invisible,
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
uh, appears.
Oh.
As he tries to attack you.
Mm.
I'll give him a blast from my.
Is your bonus action thing?
Yep.
Your radiant
Your
beam thing?
chest blast.
Yep.
Ion cannon. Oh, no, sorry.
I am a holy cow from India.
Indian holy cow. There you go.
He is.
Yeah, he made a silver.
So
He'd be. I think he'd be gold though if he was actually like from the Indies. But just I digress.
Constitution saving throw.
Maybe silver was on sale.
True, true.
Or maybe it's just the horns that are silver.
No, not an advantage though, by the way. But fail at a 6.
Yep. So
1d6 damage. Oh,
26 damage and blind.
Yep. Put this over here, like so.
I'm gonna attack him.
For 2 damage.
Yep. And then I'm gonna hit him with a great axe.
Yeah, so you're at advantage too. Don't forget, because he's blind.
Yep.
Yeah, 13 is a hit.
All right.
Barely, but it's a hit. You match his armor class.
14.
All right. You see, he gets hit, is cloven in twain, and disappears in a puff of smoke, and this smell of like brimstone.
And
Oh
I'm
gosh,
gonna.
hang on, I gotta undo that because took him off turn order.
and
Don't matter.
I,
Don't matter.
I'll
It's
be.
fine.
That's
I'll be
right. On
good.
his turn, he lays there dead.
I'll be good right there.
And as a bonus action, he moans.
There you go. And this movement action, he just decomposes there.
Okay, so what are you doing, John?
He
But I'm good right there. Not
Okay.
in the darkness.
Okay,
Uh,
you're not moving or anything more.
Nope. I'll be good.
Okay. All right. All right. So that's it for Silverhorns, right?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, it don't matter. No matter. Okay, so Silverhorns. Yep. Okay, you can't see this dude, but you kind of see him on the map. Okay, so you get attacked and missed, and then you see one come slightly out of the cloud, and he attacks you also. Well, he wouldn't be at advantage though, but he still hits.
Yep.
For 4 piercing or 4 bludgeoning and 2 piercing, so 3 total.
Yeah, yep. 3 total.
So for something like this, you take half of each.
Yeah.
It's because you have resistance to both. So, all right. Um, all right. So that was it for Silverhorns. Oh wait, I did the Grimlock first, but I was supposed to do the other thing first. This guy, Gregor, goes up to the Drow. Um, and he will attempt to uh, basically he takes the pommel of his or he takes his quarterstaff and whacks him upside the head at advantage, but and doing non-lethal damage and knocks the Drow unconscious.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
Yay, there goes darkness.
And then the
We
Grimlocks went, and then Thyron walks up and makes sure. Oh, that's not Thyron walking up. That's the footprints walking up. Anyway, so
There's an invisible stalker.
Thyron's not telling us something.
Thyron walks up and binds the Drow's hands. And then Callan, you're up.
Is there now no darkness, as has been mentioned by?
Oh
Silverhorn?
yes, unconscious. That's true.
Yes. I don't care how well he rolls.
Yeah, his concentration it is no longer worthy.
So okay, let me. I am going to try to again catch these two guys with a slightly different sort of thing, and I'm not sure about Mr. Imp there, Mr. Imp in the tree, but let me put it up first.
Mr. Imp.
You're a mean one,
Yep.
Mr. Imp.
Asthma, yay.
It's supposed to be.
Actually, I didn't even
Okay.
have to roll it.
Here is something because of me lineage, and I can cast that at second level. Now let's see. You hold your hands touching, and I want to again not hit Silverhorns, but hit these two Grimlocks. You take a. All right.
How big is that cone
I'm
again?
just looking for. That's what I'm looking for. It says 15 foot.
I thought it was. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think it's
So-
15 foot.
So I can go move over to here, and I'm going to try to put it so it again catches them in it, but doesn't catch Silverhorns. So
Something along those
So-
lines.
yeah, so if I can move to here and conically hit those guys,
Yeah.
and so we're gonna fry them.
Fry them all. Okay, go ahead and roll damage for burning hands.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, the imp I'm not so concerned about because he's resistant to fire anyway.
Yeah.
He might be.
Well, and he's
totally-
he's
he might
over
be-
away from the thing, but
Yeah. So, okay, let's see. Burning hands.
It is a deck save. Yeah, deck save.
Mm-hmm. And it's automatically level 2, so there we go. Yeah, it says higher level cast, but that's just you add it. It's not really a spell; it's an inherent ability, but I put it in the same slot as if it
But
were a spell.
what level? Okay, so but it is you're casting it at second level, right?
It's inherently It says
It's inherently at second level. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So yep.
So
That's
15 damage.
17 we're working with.
Or 17 damage. Yeah, sorry. Why am I 15? I'm subtracting 1 for some reason. Math is hard, okay?
It is.
Yeah,
Ah,
hard.
Okay, so that
Blame-
one drops
blame
to
you
the
guys.
ground, and that one actually, he made his save, so he takes, what was it, 17? Half of 17 is 8, about.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, so one of them dies.
I'll throw a inspiration to. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to need it, so I'm just going to leave it as. I mean, I don't know that. Looks like we're probably going to finish these guys off. All right, I'll reserve it. And that's it. I'm done.
Okay. Um, hold on one second. Okay. Where was it? The Drow. Okay, so the Drow is unconscious. Gold Sneezer, he he casts a cantrip.
Can't
And-
trip because I'm sitting down. Can't trip.
And you see a little jet of acid shoot from his fingertips and hit the other Grimlock, and it falls to the ground. That's what they were, by the way. Grimlocks is what they were.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you know that because Gold Sneezer says something like, "Dear me, Grimlocks," and then and shoots one with a.
We know that
Acid
because
splash.
you called them Grimlock earlier.
Oh, okay. Well, now you know. That could be too. Yeah. All right. So UA, the only thing left alive is an imp.
Imp.
Well, and the drow that you've captured also.
Is he bloodied, good sir?
He is not bloodied. He's hurt. I mean, he's taking
Alright,
damage.
Where is this imp?
He
Oh, he's
is
over there.
north and kind of east of
Oh.
over here. He
I can hit
took
him.
some damage
He's
from
stuck in
getting
a
hit.
tree.
He took some damage from getting tangled into the tree and hitting into the tree. So
I'm feeling a little grumpy, so I'm gonna go for
I haven't got to
probably.
kill
Well-
anything today.
He didn't get to kill anything, but as far as he's concerned, he's doing the most important job, which is bossing people around. You go secure that drow. Everybody's fighting. All right, I'll stand here and file my nails. Anyways, though, no, it just I'm out of the house. This is not what I want to be doing.
Right.
This is beneath me. I'm just gonna obliterate that thing.
Okay.
So he is going to, for the first time, cast a magic missile on
Okay.
it.
All right. So you will cast up to 3. Now, normally when you roll a
Well,
magic
I
missile,
will say this: you can draw a weapon as a free action, right, or a bonus action.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yes,
free action.
I will draw out my mage blade and do something that looks arcane over top of it because I can and I'm a sorcerer.
Right.
Yeah, he gets 3 glowing darts of magical force up his ass.
Okay, so yeah, so these 3 darts go ahead and now raw. You only generally roll 1 for the whole damage, but I always have them rolled separate. So if you would like, I would rather you roll them separate, but that's up to you.
Okay,
So-
well, bear in mind too, I have Mage Blade out, so I do get to add my since this is a spell that takes up a spell slot, I get to add my charisma, my casting ability
Oh
modifier.
yep, that's true. Yeah, which is what 4 or 3, 4, 5?
5.
Oh, you got a 20 charisma. Okay, nice. All right, so yeah, that's
I knew I liked you.
yeah, so that imp is just obliterated from existence. Just dies in a ball of
Yeah, I'm just-
smoky flames and smell of brimstone.
Force damage. I imagine seeing UA there, kind of your token has your back to him. I imagine you kind of looking over your shoulder and just kind of casually, nonchalantly pointing your mage blade at him and doing it that way without even bothering to turn around.
There
Right,
you go.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
right.
I'm
That's
just so disgusted.
yeah. He's like, why do I need to face him? It always hits.
I don't have to aim.
I do not have to look upon this hideousness any longer. Anyway, all right. So, although of course he's got a British accent for some reason in that point.
I thought it was Swedish.
Yeah. Okay, so that one dies. And you have the Drow captured, which is an interesting turn of events, and it is 2 o'clock almost.
Yep.
So we will decide what are you guys gonna do when you guys wake this drow up and interrogate it. You guys will you guys have 2 weeks to think about what you're gonna question this drow, like what kind of
Ooh.
questions you're gonna ask this drow. And I have 2 weeks to read the hell out of this module so I can answer them all without being like, shit. Let me read it. You
Yeah, it's like we all learn what goes on there. Okay. Just you guys, as we stroll on over to them, I'm just going to say so that we don't forget. Um, so you know, if we rouse them, I can beforehand cast. I have detect thoughts, so that could really help with the interrogation, especially if I kind of cast it before he totally comes to and says, "Oh wait, he's casting a spell." So that might help, not quite as much as like tell the truth, zone of truth, or anything else, but it could help with a little bit of interrogation. So don't let me forget to do that.
Okay.
We will. Don't worry.
We all forget. Oh
Probably.
shit! Didn't you say you were going to do this?
Well, it's nice that you have something because I don't. I am just arcane magic. Like,
Okay,
you want me to kill him?
before we end, hold on 1 second here. Before we end, as you guys are, getting ready to possibly rouse the drow or whatever to talk to him or whatever,
Oh, another song.
rouse the drow.
Rouse the
go.
drow.
out of the
Before you rouse the drow.
out of the
Before you
woods, out of the woods, and through the woods comes rushing another figure, and it is when he arrives to see you, it is Jury Endor, and he says, "Ah, you've caught one."
The priest that
And
we
you
were
says,
looking
of
for.
course I did.
Like,
Obviously, he's taking the credit for it. It wasn't for his brilliant tactics.
Silverhorn says, "Yes, I blinded it so we could catch it."
he
Yeah,
says,
the guy did something.
he says, Jury Endor says, well, good. He says, I can't find Sage Satel anywhere. He can't be found to help explain stuff, but the Moonshard, it's gone, and of course Rebelka is less safe than it once was.
What does this
Does he-
moonshard look like?
You saw the Moonshard.
It's in the handouts under the moon shard.
It's the thing that he did the ritual with. Remember at the beginning of the whole thing that.
I don't remember what it looks like.
Oh, okay. So it's here. Maybe refresh we'll refresh everybody in the handouts there. Moonshard looks like this. Here, show to the players. There you go.
Crystal pointed on either end.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's not blue.
Yeah, it doesn't have. Well, it has a kind of a bluish tinge to it, but I mean, it's when it glows, it glows kind of like a lighter color. But yeah. Anyway, so it's a bluish greenish. But
Okay.
Anyway, so this drow hunter, this one that was dressed like a human hunter, is the
Right.
one that ran off with it. Remember?
Yeah, I remember
Not
that,
this one
yeah.
not this one that you just faced.
Yeah. No.
It was obviously, you remember, it was a disguise. It wasn't actually like a spell or something.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Yep.
actually how you discovered it. So yeah. So he says, Jury Endor says, if you have any ideas, perhaps share them.
We're gonna interrogate this sleeping drow when they wake up, and hopefully that'll give us some ideas of which you speak. I look at him. Does he look like roughed up a bit or anything? Does he look like he's been in
A bit.
in a dust up?
Yeah, a bit.
okay.
Yeah, he's got the smudges on his face and stuff like that from where the fire was like getting overwhelming, and he's got that like that been in smoke kind of look to him, and he's also looks a little bit scraped and bent up, scraped and beat up from he obviously has some sort of fight with either undead or other things.
Right.
So, does this guy
Okay.
look like he knows his way around a fight?
Yes, he does.
Okay, so as in, all right, here I am
He
thinking
he's
here.
he's a
He could be,
priest. He's a priest, but he's dressed in like full battle armor.
so he could be very useful if we could convince him to come with us.
Yeah, he's like a war priest. Yeah, and he probably wouldn't be able to be convinced to come with you, but I mean, you always can try. So
Well,
Fair
can
enough.
I convince him to heal me? Because I'm down a few hit points.
yeah, he can do that. He can give you.
Okay.
He'll cast cure wounds on you.
Okay.
It would be a shame if he wouldn't come with us because we're doing his dirty work.
But I must calm the community. They seek my guidance. I cannot be from them for too long.
God help him.
Oh,
That's
I
kind of
trust
that's
Brian
kind of
could-
his thing. Yeah, that's kind of his go-to. He's like
I,
well, I must I must see to my flock. That kind of thing.
yeah, I'm pretty sure Brian would come up with that.
Wouldn't
I'm
your
not gonna.
flock be better
I'm not gonna-
served having a moon shard? The quicker we can get it, the safer your flock can be.
He says yes, but
I'm
without
not
me
gonna say,
here.
oh, like this would be a great place for a trap.
I don't know, they're functioning
Oh,
just fine without you.
Silverhorns would Silverhorns would be like, I could use some healing, and if there's any way you can help us on our journey with any healing potions
What in the world
or
is going on with Roll20 today? Holy shit, man!
Silver Horns is like, hey, buddy.
or
Healing,
holy
healing,
water,
so, yeah, I asked for healing.
or any
Ooh,
other
holy water would be
things
good.
that you may have that will help us, because we did run into a not a vampire, but a vampire spawn.
He says,
They said that
An
he's,
acolyte.
Jerry Endor.
there, there may be a potion or something to heal him, to keep it, to change him back from being a vampire.
Yeah, Jury Endor is a little confused by all of that. He says, I'm not sure what you mean. He says, I don't know that there is a cure for being a vampire. He says, and a vampire spawn is still a vampire. He says, but he says,
He hasn't
I
he hasn't
believe
fed yet or something. I was confused too, but
He's your folk hero. I think you'd want to look a little bit harder to try to find a way to unvampire him.
he's like he looks all just confused. He's like I don't know. Sure I suppose that possibly. And he just kind of looks a little confused.
if you could look into your research it, if you could research that, that would be great.
He says, "Oh, I will definitely give it a shot." He says, where is this vampire spawn now?"
I believe he went back
In
to
your crypts.
sleep.
Yeah.
He's like, "Really?" And
He
kinda
did
like-
help us mop up some skeletons, though.
Now
Pretty much,
now he looks not only confused, he looks a little skeptical.
But he is your folk hero.
What do you mean is my folk hero?
Yue walks over and goes, do you know the name Aline Durquois?
He says, "Well, of course, everybody knows that name."
There's
That's
a
who he
vampire
is.
resting in his grave down in the crypts.
He's like, "All right, you guys, I thought you were here to help. If you're just here to put on a show and make fun of me, then you're not much help." He's like,
What would I gain from
I see
telling you
you've
that?
I see you've captured this drow, and I'm grateful for this. But why would you say such silly things that would make fun of me?"
Oh God, somebody.
Why
else
would that
talk,
make fun of? Why would that make fun of you? Look, what we're trying to do is that we're trying to provide you with
So
some
your
information.
story is
Obviously-
so the story that you're giving me is that Alan Durquois is in my basement of my cathedral, and that he has helped you kill skeletons.
Yep. Does the persuasion roll help with you at all? At least to not
Oh yeah,
be so
yeah. He says
feisty about it.
he says Very well. If you say so, it's a very hard pill to swallow.
It was a very hard pill to swallow that we fought zombies and skeletons and saved your cathedral that was on fire.
He says
Also,
he says yes. I wouldn't have believed it myself had I not witnessed it.
yes.
The average person don't see zombies and skeletons and shit on a daily basis.
Hmm.
This is
Crap,
this would
I'm
be
trying
this
to
is
turn
only
off
this
this
is only a this is only basically a step up from a commoner. Seeing it. What are you trying to turn off, Rich? The bless.
Well, I unclicked the bless from
Okay,
my
then it's probably
sheet, but
guidance.
it seems to think that I've got. But I'm trying to find out how to unclick it. I didn't
Lower
have
left.
it clicked, but
Lower left.
of the sheet.
Yeah, it's on the lower left of the sheet. It'll be a global skill modifier, and it'll have a blue box check to it, next to it. Just above your proficiencies.
I want to smack this guy so bad. I'm so pissed. I walk off.
But we're not playing games, and we're not pulling your leg.
I mean, like, he's got a magic missile just crackling, ready to go. Like,
Well-
he's, like, not trying to even hide the fact that he's muttering, like, you insolent beep, 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 beep. Going on about, how dare you speak to us when here we are helping you out for no fucking good reason. You've got a lot of nerve. Yeah. He's walking away.
All right, so he heals you for 10 points of damage there, John.
Okay.
So you're almost back up to full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not fight. We just try to sit on that and think about it. We're gonna go and try and find information from this
Actually, make
drow that we've kind of used as a punching bag.
an insight check because it's not like he doesn't believe you about the vampire. He just seems like when you said that a vampire helped you guys out, and it was a vampire spawn, that he seemed like that not to believe that story. But so everybody make an insight check.
Kind of like,
All right,
sure,
mine
sure, a
kind-
talking elephant helps you. Right. Mm-hmm.
That's the other adventure.
Yep.
So not such great insight. But Yue has excellent insight.
Oh no, not me.
Silverhorn's less
Silverhorns
so.
Silverhorns must not have been paying attention.
Oh my god, please, why did you have to make the roll?
Yue, you are the one that made the high roll, and Yue, you think that when he said, "So where is this vampire now?" you get the extreme impression he intends to go vanquish this vampire.
So what?
So okay, I'm just putting that out there. And then you told him that it was in the crypts and it helped you kill skeletons and all that shit. And then he was like, "Wait, there's no vampires there because you guys are trolling me," like that. But so now he believes that there is a vampire again. He believes that the vampire is helpful now, but he's not sure why he believes that. It's just apparently Slag was very persuasive and like, "Look, I'm telling you."
Did my,
Well,
intim-
I am
Did
a
my-
bod.
did my intimidation roll help him believe it too?
Yeah, that helped too. Yeah, so he's convinced there's a vampire, and he's convinced that you guys aren't trolling him now. But he's still a little confused because one, a vampire spawn should not have been able to talk to you about anything. They should have attacked you and probably tried to eat you, or suck your drain your blood or whatever. And two, that there's one living in his cathedral this whole time. Then he's kind of like confused considering Alan Durkwa is supposed to have been dead for the last 100 years. So
Isn't their quad known for his handicrafts?
Durkwa?
Yeah. Because if so,
Yeah.
I can
Because of crochet.
He makes-
100-year crochet.
I can prove selling their quad.
Oh god!
So,
Thanks to the promised land.
Alan,
I need to do these
Alan
by times.
Durkwa, he makes his own tapestries of his own deeds. He goes and knits them up.
It's what he does in his. It's what he does in his covenant that he makes tapestries.
Yes. Of the different undead that he's made this.
Oh Lord! In fact, the skeletons you fought weren't made of bone at all. They were just made out of crocheted tapestry. You know, so
You're making
That
all
explains so
skeleton
they were
much.
cozy.
they were macrame skeletons.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
They double
What-
great
what-
as plant holders. Anyway, so yeah,
what are those clubs that these guys were using?
the spiked bone clubs.
Okay.
So here, I can add one to your sheet if you want.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
they're spike bone clubs. You can take one. And what they are is they are just you're gonna put a club on there, right?
Yep.
Which is regular 1d4 damage.
Yep.
But they also do an extra 1d4 piercing damage.
Okay.
So for the second one, I can fix it
Nice.
if unless you want to do it. But
No, I'll let you do it.
okay. So yeah, so let's do that. Let me go to your sheet. Because, part of the thing is, teaching people how to use Roll20 a little bit, even though Roll20 is being a jackass today. So you go to
You
the
just
sheet
feign
here.
like you can't do anything and have your DM do it.
Yeah, and then we're going to do Spiked Bone Club, Spiked Bone Club, and then its attack is Strength, range is 5 feet, which is melee, damage is 1d4. Damage 1 is 1d4. And damage 2 is 1d4 piercing. So 1d4 bludgeoning. Bludgeoning. And 1d4 piercing.
Nice. It's nice to have a weapon that does 2 different types of damage.
It is.
Yeah. There you go.
And
So now it
Pushing
should be on
bingo.
your sheet there.
awesome. That way I got a skeleton buster.
Your strength.
Yep.
Hold on. Why does it say 1d4 plus 2? Oh, because your strength is only plus 2. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Strength.
Yeah, that strength's only +2.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep. That's fair. All right. Cool. And then with that, we'll be back in 2 weeks. Figure out what we're going to talk to Jury Endor about, if anything, as he goes on about his merry way, or you guys can try to convince him to come with you guys. And you guys can have 2 weeks to think about what you're going to interrogate this Drow about. You don't know the Drow's name.
Okay.
It's a female Drow, and she did mention the name Yoflid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll put that into chat too, just in case. But Yoflid was the name she mentioned, and you're assuming that it is some other Drow.
You need to put that in campaign notes so we don't forget it.
I'm on it.
Campaign notes. All right. So, and
Thank
then
you.
with that, guys, thanks for anybody who come out. Thanks to Promised Land who bid 200 bits there. Yeah, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks. This has been Action Surge, the okayest D&D show ever.
That's right.
And I'd like to think of a catchphrase, but the only thing I've even thought of is even close to a catchphrase is terribly lame. But it's let all your surges be action surges. But I have no idea. Anyway, so and with that,
Well.
we're out of here.
Action surge.
Action
Yeah.
surge. Yeah.
XP.
Oh, XP, no XP.
Yeah, lots.
Okay, hold on. This is good.
No.
I can give you XP before we head off here. Hold on one second.
Yeah,
I gotta
you
look.
already gave us 220, so I've got that noted.
But I have the Grimlocks on here still. Yeah, I do. Don't I? I think I do. Yeah, I do. Hold on.
I think we should get extra points for subduing rather than killing the Drow.
Right,
You might,
and for commanding these.
but you will
beyond
never
their-
know. Okay,
You'll
hold on.
never know.
All right, he'll just roll it all in.
Okay, hold on. Oh, I gotta see what the Drow is too. Hold on. I think the Drow is like CR1, maybe. Oh no.
I don't know.
Much
You
much
could've-
less.
You could have beefed
Much
up your.
less.
You could have beefed up this Drow for all we know. This could be
I-
like super Drow.
I could have beefed it up, but I didn't.
Super draw.
I kind of want. Okay, so I believe that this Drow was supposed to have gotten away, but I kind of wanted to give you guys the idea that you guys had a chance at it not getting away, and so I left it as like as it would be. So I think I just wanted to see where that would go. So I kind of like was curious about that.
Well, she did kind of seal her own fate there with that running around
Well, and we've
thing.
sure blind.
she-
well, the
she-
blinded thing because
She
Yeah.
could have hid. I mean, technically, she could have tried to hide since she was in the darkness already. But I figure she was trying to get away, and then like the blindness thing made her panic a little.
yeah, panic. And the
Well,
thing, I mean, yeah,
yeah.
and go ahead.
Okay, another 200 XP for everybody.
Okay.
But yeah, the thing about with the barbarian and having the random effect and having it be the beam, and one of the failed effects was blindness. I mean, there's a lot of things that that figured in that made it uh, more equitable for us to be able to capture.
Yeah, and I kind
the
I like to
body
do
image.
like when I'm doing the role playing stuff. I like to do what I kind of feel like X person would do or X thing would do in the thing. But
Sure.
okay, I gotta go. Brandon is here, so I gotta end stream, guys.
Enjoy
We'll talk to you soon.
enjoy your
Bye.
concert.
All right, we'll do.